Zero to Hired, the ultimate job search masterclass.
Welcome to the first step of your journey toward landing your dream job. I'm Monica, with over 20 years of experience working across 4 countries and training HR professionals on what they really look for in candidates. What makes me different? I understand both sides of the hiring desk. I've been the person making hiring decisions, and I've helped thousands of people just like you transform their careers. So my promise to you, if you follow these 12 module steps, you will secure a position better than you might currently believe possible. This course is designed specifically for those starting fresh, whether you're new to the job market, returning after a break, or building a career in a new country. And by the end of this module, you'll create your own personal career profile, a living document that will guide your entire job search journey. Your profile will include your top 5 strengths, your core values, your transferable skills inventory, your prioritized skill development plan, your SMART career goals, your CV and cover letter, your interview prep strategy, and much more. So prepare a piece of paper, or even a few and a pencil, and let's get started. And we start with self-assessment. Many job seekers make the same mistake. They jump straight into applying for jobs without understanding their unique value. This leads to frustration and settling for positions far below your potential. And sooner or later this way will take you back to this point again. You will need to start from it. No way. We are not going to go rounds, and instead we'll do something really special for ourselves. Part 1. Discovering your strengths. Let's identify what makes you unique in the workplace. Imagine yourself in moments when you felt most confident and accomplished. Perhaps it was organizing a successful community event, managing a household, or leading a team project, or simply something that you enjoy doing the most. What skills did you use during those times? These are your strengths, and they are the foundation upon which you can build a successful career. Strengths are not just about what you're good at, they're also about what you enjoy doing, what keeps you concentrated and focused, and you even don't notice time flying by. For instance, if you've managed a household, you likely possess strong organizational skills. This ability to organize and manage tasks efficiently can be applied to various roles, from administrative positions to leadership roles. I'll give you an example. Sarah, a stay-at-home mum, realized she had excellent time management skills from juggling her children's schedules and household chores. She leveraged these skills to land a job as a project coordinator, where she excelled in managing timelines and resources. Okay, so now let's do some exercise called Strength Finder. Think about times when you felt energized and successful at work or in life. What were you doing? What came naturally to you? What do others often compliment you on? Pause this now and have a few minutes to think. Use the worksheet to list at least 5 strengths you possess. These might include organization skills, problem-solving abilities, attention to detail, communication skills, adaptability. Well done, I hope you got at least 5 strengths, maybe even some more. So now, I would like to go use some insights from my experience training hiring managers. The candidates who stand out to me aren't necessarily those with perfect experience, but those who understand their strengths and can clearly explain how those strengths would benefit our team. And we move on. Part 2. Clarifying your values. Your work values determine job satisfaction. When your values align with your work, you thrive. Your values are the principles that guide your decisions and actions. In the context of your career, they are crucial, because they help you align with roles that bring you satisfaction and fulfillment. So take a minute, pause this video, and ask yourself, what matters most to you in a career? Is it creativity, stability, helping others, or something else? Values assessment. Use the provided values card sort to identify your top 5 work values. Autonomy versus structure, creativity versus procedure, leadership versus individual contribution, financial reward versus purpose, work-life balance versus career advancement. Or you can follow this link and spend some more time identifying your values. Remember, there are no wrong answers, but knowing your values prevents you from pursuing jobs that look good on paper but make you miserable in practice. Once you've done that, we move to the next point. Part 3. Transferable skills inventory. Everyone has transferable skills, abilities that move across industries and roles, and they can be applied across different roles and industries. They are crucial for career development and job searching because they demonstrate versatility and adaptability to potential employers. These skills can be categorized into hard skills, technical abilities, and soft skills, interpersonal and cognitive abilities. Let's see some examples, and let's speak about some of the most valuable transferable skills include communication, verbal and written. The ability to convey ideas clearly and persuasively is essential in any role. Whether you're presenting a project to a team or writing a report for a client, effective communication is key. If you are a full-time mum, you might have developed strong communication skills by negotiating with your children, explaining rules, and mediating conflicts. These skills are highly transferable to roles like customer service or teaching. Teamwork and collaboration. So what does it mean? Working effectively with others to achieve shared goals is vital in most industries. This involves contributing to team discussions, respecting different perspectives, and supporting colleagues. For example, if you just graduated or finished school, you likely worked on group projects. These experiences have helped you develop teamwork skills, such as coordinating tasks, resolving conflicts, and celebrating successes. These skills are valuable in any collaborative work environment. Next, problem solving. This is about the ability to assess challenges and develop effective solutions is highly valued. This involves analyzing problems, identifying potential solutions, and implementing them. And now have a think. If you've managed a household, you've likely encountered unexpected problems like a power outage or a burst pipe. Your ability to quickly find solutions, such as calling an electrician or plumber, demonstrates problem-solving skills. These skills are crucial in roles like project management or operations. Another very valuable skill is time management. Efficiently managing time to meet deadlines and prioritize tasks is crucial. This involves setting schedules, allocating time for tasks, and avoiding procrastination. Basically, I dare to say that all of us have this skill, do we? As a full-time student, you might have juggled classes, assignments, and part-time work. Your ability to manage your time effectively to meet deadlines and balance responsibilities is a valuable skill in any professional setting. Let's speak about another skill, adaptability. Being able to adjust to new situations and environments is increasingly important in today's fast-paced work environment. This involves being open to change, learning new processes, and adapting to new technologies. If you've moved to a new country, you've likely had to adapt to a new culture, language, and work environment. This adaptability is highly valued in global companies or roles that involve frequent travel. Some more examples. Technical proficiency. Skills related to software, data analysis, or other technical tools are highly transferable. These skills can be developed through online courses or personal projects. For example, if you enjoy coding as a hobby, you might have developed skills in programming languages like Python or JavaScript. These technical skills are in high demand across various industries, from software development to data science. Customer service is all about interacting effectively with customers or clients. This involves understanding customer needs, resolving complaints, and providing solutions. For example, if you've worked or maybe volunteered in retail or hospitality, you've likely developed strong customer service skills. These skills are valuable in roles like sales, customer success, or account management. Skills mapping. Using a skills matrix, rate yourself on the following universal workplace skills. 1. Communication. Verbal and written. How effective are you at conveying ideas in both spoken and written formats? 2. Teamwork and collaboration. How well do you work with others to achieve common goals? 3. Problem solving. How adept are you at finding solutions to challenges? 4. Time management. How efficiently do you manage your time to meet deadlines? 5. Adaptability. How well do you adjust to new situations or environments? 6. Technical proficiency. What technical skills do you possess, such as proficiency in specific software or data analysis? 7. Customer service. How effectively do you interact with customers or clients? 8. Leadership. Have you led teams or projects, and if so, how effectively? Important note: don't underestimate skills gained outside traditional employment. For example, raising children can develop negotiation skills, multitasking, and time management. Community volunteering can build project management abilities, teamwork, and leadership skills. Hobbies often develop technical capabilities, such as programming or graphic design. So please, think wider, and just write down everything what comes as an idea. Later on, you'll be able to polish your list if necessary. Employer insight. Employers value transferable skills because they demonstrate a candidate's ability to adapt and contribute to different roles and industries. Highlighting these skills in job applications can make you a more attractive candidate, especially when transitioning between roles or industries. So please, do not neglect transferable skills. Now let's build your own skills matrix. You can use the list of skills provided a minute ago, or use your own list related to the job role you are applying for, or work you'd like to do. Once your list is ready, please, have a think on how you'd rate each of them, let's say from 1 to 4, where 1 is the weakest. Please, don't forget to reflect on non-traditional sources. Think about skills you've developed outside of traditional employment, such as through volunteering or hobbies. Then create a plan. Outline how you can further develop your transferable skills to enhance your career prospects. For each skill you've rated, think about how you can improve it. For example, if communication is your weakest skill, you could take an online course in public speaking, or join a local Toastmasters group to practice verbal communication. For written communication, consider taking a writing workshop or blogging to improve your writing skills. Or if teamwork and collaboration is an area for improvement, you could look for opportunities to volunteer or participate in group projects. This could be through local volunteering for the community projects. If problem solving is a skill you want to enhance, then consider engaging in activities that challenge you, such as puzzles, brain teasers, or strategy games. You could also take a course in critical thinking or decision making. This is just to give you an idea. And again, employer insight from my HR training experience. I often look beyond work history to assess how candidates have used their skills in any context. Someone who organized a community event demonstrates the same skills needed to coordinate a work project. So now we are moving to the next part. Identifying skill gaps. No one has everything, and that's okay. But understanding your gaps is really empowering and important. It helps you understand what skills you need to acquire or improve to achieve your career goals. Let's dive into how you can conduct a gap analysis and make the most of it. Okay, let's start with gap analysis step by step. 1. Review job descriptions. Start by looking at job descriptions for roles that interest you. These can be found on job boards like Indeed or LinkedIn. Pay attention to the skills and qualifications listed. Then check them with your matrix we've done a minute ago. 2. Highlight required skills you lack. As you review these job descriptions, highlight any skills you currently lack. This could be anything from technical skills like programming to soft skills like leadership. Focus on skills with low rate as well. The fact they are in your list is not enough. Make sure they have a high rate. Categorize gaps. Once you've identified the skills you need, categorize them into 3 types. Critical, must-have before applying. These are essential skills required for the job. You should focus on acquiring these skills before applying for roles. Important, develop while job searching. These skills are beneficial but not essential. You can develop them while you're job searching. Nice to have, can learn on the job. These are skills that are desirable but not necessary for the job. You can learn them once you're hired. Conducting a gap analysis helps you focus on what you need to improve to achieve your career goals. It's not just about identifying gaps, it's also about creating a plan to address them. This will massively help your personal and professional growth. Tips for effective gap analysis. Use online resources. Websites like LinkedIn Learning or Coursera offer courses to help you develop new skills, and there are many free courses. You can also check out our website. We offer a personalized support, individual coaching. There is also a community where we share ideas and support each other with different issues. Well, but let's get back to our gap analysis. Seek feedback. This is a very good idea to ask your friends, mentors, or former colleagues for feedback on your skills. They might identify gaps you haven't noticed. Prioritize. Do not try to enhance everything in once. Focus on critical skills first. These are essential for landing your desired role. I would like to give you some examples to work on. Conducting a gap analysis for an admin role. Imagine you're interested in applying for an administrative assistant position at a local town council office. Below is a sample job description for this role. Now, pause this video and read the job description. Let's imagine you're interested in this role. Follow these steps. 1. Highlight required skills. Go through the job description and highlight the skills required for this role. 2. Check your skills list. Refer to the skills list you created earlier. In Part 3, Transferable Skills. Check if you have all the skills required for this role. 3. Categorize skills. Determine which skills are critical, must-have before applying, essential skills required for the job, important, develop while job searching, beneficial skills that can be developed while job searching, nice to have, can learn on the job, skills that are desirable but not necessary for the job. 4. Create a development plan. Outline how you will acquire or improve these skills. Consider the following. Online courses. Websites like LinkedIn Learning or Coursera offer courses in Microsoft Office and other technical skills. Volunteer work. Participate in community events to develop customer service and teamwork skills, etc., etc. 2. Hope you got the idea. And now, you'll try to do the same with the job role you are looking for. And we are moving on. Setting realistic career goals. Now that you've identified your strengths, values, and transferable skills, it's time to create a roadmap for your career journey. Setting clear goals will help you stay focused and motivated. Let's make these goals SMART: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Imagine you're on a journey to your dream career. Here's how you can set your goals. Short-term goals, 3 to 6 months. What do you want to achieve in the next few months? This could be completing a certification, landing an entry-level position, or networking with professionals in your desired field. Medium-term goals, 6 to 12 months. What do you aim to achieve in the next year? This might involve moving into a more senior role, starting your own business, or transitioning into a new industry. Long-term aspirations, 1 to 5 years. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? This could be moving into a leadership role, becoming an expert in your field, or achieving a significant career milestone. Let's look at some examples of SMART goals. Let's say your long-term goal is to become a project manager. Here's how you can break it down into SMART goals. Short-term goal, 3 to 6 months. Complete a project management certification course and volunteer to lead a small project at work or in a community organization. Medium-term goal, 6 to 12 months. Secure a role as a junior project manager and successfully manage at least 2 projects. Long-term goal, 1 to 5 years. Become a senior project manager, overseeing multiple teams and projects. Now let's make your career goals a reality. Follow these steps to create a clear roadmap for your success. Step 1. Reflect on your goals. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. What does your ideal career look like? Think about roles, industries, or achievements that excite you. For example, maybe you want to become a marketing manager or start your own business. Example: Emily wants to transition from a sales role to a marketing position. She reflects on her strengths in communication and creativity, which align well with marketing. Step 2. Write down your goals. Use the SMART criteria to ensure your goals are clear and achievable. Here's how to apply SMART. Specific. Clearly define what you want to achieve. Measurable. Quantify your goal so you can track progress. Achievable. Make sure the goal is realistic based on your resources and constraints. Relevant. Align your goal with your values and long-term vision. Time-bound. Set a specific deadline for achieving your goal. For example, Emily's SMART goal for transitioning into marketing is: within the next 6 months, I will complete a digital marketing certification course and secure a marketing coordinator role by networking with at least 5 professionals in the field. Step 3. Create an action plan. Break down each goal into smaller, actionable steps. This will help you stay focused and motivated. Example: short-term goal: complete a digital marketing certification course within 3 months. Action steps: 1. Research and enroll in a course by the end of the month. 2. Dedicate 2 hours each week to studying. 3. Complete all course modules within 3 months. Medium-term goal: secure a marketing coordinator role within 6 months. Action steps: 1. Update your resume and LinkedIn profile to highlight marketing skills. 2. Attend at least 2 industry events per month to network. 3. Apply to 5 marketing coordinator positions per week. Step 4. Share with a friend or your coach. Share your goals with a friend or mentor and ask them to hold you accountable. This will provide you with support and motivation throughout your journey. The biggest mistake I see as an HR professional is generic applications. Your personal career profile helps you stand out by highlighting exactly what makes you unique. Don't rush this step. It's the foundation of your entire job search strategy. Great, we're nearly there. But there is one important thing there which I would like to appoint. This is a mental health note. Job searching can feel quite overwhelming at times. We don't want you stressed or overwhelmed. So a good idea is to break your goals into small, achievable steps. Each completed step builds confidence. If you need additional mental health support during this process, remember we offer resources at culturalinks.co.uk. They are free and really interesting. Once you've completed your personal career profile, you're ready for Module 2, Trends and Labor Market Analysis, where we'll align your newly discovered strengths with actual market opportunities. And remember that achieving your career goals doesn't have to be a solo journey. Our Career League is here to support you every step of the way. By joining our community, you'll gain access to personalized coaching that helps refine your career profile, build your professional network, and accelerate your career growth. By becoming a member of our Career League, you're not just joining a community, you're investing in your future. Our members have seen significant improvements in their job search outcomes and career satisfaction. Whether you're just starting out or looking to transition into a new role, we're here to help you succeed. Visit culturalinks.co.uk today to learn more about joining our vibrant community of successful job seekers. Let's work together to make your career aspirations a reality. Hi guys, I am very pleased to welcome you to Module 2 of your journey to landing your dream job. Now that you've developed a clear understanding of your skills, strengths and values, it's time to align these with actual market opportunities. By the end of this module, you'll create your market-aligned opportunity map, a strategic document that 1. Identifies your top 3 target sectors based on growth and alignment with your profile. 2. Lists 5 to 10 specific roles to focus on within these sectors. 3. Highlights the high-value skills you'll emphasize in applications. 4. Outlines 3 to 5 skill development priorities based on market demand. 5. Names 10 to 15 target organizations actively hiring in your chosen sectors. Many job seekers make a critical mistake. They search based on what jobs were available in the past, not what employers need today and tomorrow. So in this module, we'll develop your ability to read the job market like a professional, identifying where the opportunities truly lie. And we'll start with understanding today's rapidly changing job market. The new world of work. The employment landscape has transformed dramatically over the past decade. The traditional career ladder has been replaced by what experts call a career lattice, with movement happening horizontally, vertically, and diagonally. Key shifts we'll explore. The rise of project-based work. More employers are hiring for specific projects rather than traditional roles. Remote work revolution. Geographic boundaries are dissolving for many knowledge-based jobs. Automation's impact. How AI and automation are eliminating some roles while creating others. Skill half-life. Technical skills now become outdated in 2 to 5 years in many industries. Portfolio careers. The growing trend of workers maintaining multiple income streams. Great. So let's move to personal market impact analysis now. Take a few minutes to reflect on how these trends have affected your previous jobs or industry. Take a piece of paper, divide it 2 halves, and just put some ideas to each of them accordingly. Which trends represent opportunities for you? Which might present challenges? Done, great. Let's have a look at current global economic influences now. Understanding broader economic factors helps predict where jobs will grow or shrink. Post-pandemic economic recovery. Industries rebounding fastest and slowest. Supply chain restructuring. How nearshoring and regional production affect job creation. Green jobs growth across sectors. Digital transformation acceleration. Industries investing heavily in technology. Demographic shifts. How aging populations and migration patterns affect labor markets. Discussion point. If you have someone next to you, please could you discuss how might these broader forces create unexpected opportunities in your field? Or just write your ideas down, we'll need them later. Whilst we are moving to high-demand skills and growing sectors. The skills revolution. The World Economic Forum's Future of Jobs report identifies that 44% of workers' skills will need to change by 2027. Let's examine the most valuable skills across industries. Technical skills in high demand. 1. Data literacy. The ability to read, interpret, and communicate with data. Examples. Basic data analysis. Dashboard interpretation, data visualization. Jobs impacted. Almost all office-based roles now require some data literacy. 2. Digital fluency. Comfort with digital tools and platforms. Examples: collaboration software, industry-specific applications. Entry point: free online courses on platforms like Coursera or LinkedIn Learning. 3. Technology specializations. Cybersecurity, projected 33% growth through 2026. Cloud computing, growth of 15% annually. AI/ML implementation, fastest growing technical specialty. Automation programming. 4. Industry-specific technical skills. Healthcare, telehealth coordination, patient data management. Manufacturing, advanced manufacturing systems, supply chain analytics. Finance, regtech, regulatory technology, blockchain applications. Education, learning management systems, virtual education tools. But at the same time, human skills becoming more valuable. As automation handles more routine tasks, distinctly human capabilities increase in value. 1. Complex problem solving, addressing ill-defined challenges with creative solutions. 2. Critical thinking, evaluating information from multiple sources to form judgments. 3. Creativity, developing original ideas and approaches. 4. People management, motivating teams and managing performance. 5. Collaborative intelligence, working effectively with both humans and AI systems. 6. Emotional intelligence, understanding and responding to others' emotions. 7. Judgment and decision-making, making sound decisions with imperfect information. 8. Service orientation, actively looking for ways to help others. 9. Cognitive flexibility, adapting thinking between concepts. 10. Active learning, rapidly acquiring new skills and knowledge. Well, definitely, so there is a lot to think about, right? We now need to try it on us. First of all, after clarifying your intentions and making a better idea what field you'd like to grow, we need to identify what you will need to be there where you want to be. Hence, we are going to practice now on Skills Gap Opportunity Map. Review the skills lists above one more time and then identify 3 technical skills relevant to your target industry that you could develop. 3 human skills you already possess that you should highlight in your job search. 2 skills where you see the biggest gap between your current abilities and market demand. Write them down and let's move on, because we need to match all that with the what market has for us. Let's examine industries projected to grow significantly in the coming years. Healthcare and wellness. Telehealth services, preventative healthcare, mental health services. Eldercare specialties. Health data management, medical technology. Market insight. Healthcare job postings have increased 22% year over year, with particular growth in roles combining healthcare knowledge with technology skills. Technology. Cloud infrastructure. Cybersecurity. AI/ML implementation. Data analytics. Software as a service. SaaS. Digital transformation services. Market insight. Entry-level tech roles increasingly prioritize problem-solving abilities and communication skills over specific programming languages. Green economy. Yes, of course. This is what nowadays world needs. Renewable energy. Sustainable construction. Environmental consulting. Carbon management. Electric vehicle infrastructure. Circular economy businesses. Market insight. Green jobs are growing at 3x the rate of traditional industries, with salaries averaging 8 to 19% higher than comparable roles in conventional sectors. Education and training. Online learning development, corporate training, educational technology, skills development programs, coaching and mentoring. Market insight. The corporate training market is projected to grow by $52.7 billion from 2023 to 2027. Professional services. Business consulting, digital marketing, financial technology, legal technology, human resources technology, project management. Market insight. Roles combining business knowledge with technical skills command a 40% premium over purely business or purely technical positions. Well, I believe that these are okay at the moment, but I also pretty sure you'll need to keep your eye on the trends, because modern world changes so quickly, and progress such as AI, new startups appear nearly every day and any of them can be a game changer. We definitely don't want to be behind, do we? Then let's move on and speak about sector opportunity alignment. Considering your personal career profile from Module 1, which 2 to 3 sectors align best with your skills, experience, and values? I'll give you a minute to find the correct sheet where you put all your skills and maybe some of those you need to work on. Okay, well done. You see them now. For these sectors we just mentioned a minute ago, identify the following specific roles that might be good matches, and list them down. Organizations in your region hiring for these roles, and write them down as well. Industry-specific job boards where these opportunities are posted. This is for the moment when we want to do a proper search. We'll just follow your list. Okay, we collected quite a data now. Look at all your paper in front of you. So, what do we do with it? Understanding employment statistics and making sense of labor market data. Employment statistics can provide valuable insights for your job search, but only if you know how to interpret them. Let's try to understand how it works. Key employment indicators. 1. Unemployment rate, the percentage of the labor force without jobs. Currently at 4.4% nationally, but varies significantly by geographic region. We understand that in London and other big cities the percentage is lower than in rural areas. Hence, this will give you one idea on where you want to look for a job. Common industry, this is what we have just spoke. And look at our past. Their results of job roles don't exist anymore, like lift operator, shore cleaner, or dyeing. Now this can be basically any replaceable by a machine role. For example, taxi driver and in-a-2os will not exist in the nearest future. Again, due to the progressive machinery and AI development, you definitely don't want to start your career in the field where a human can be replaced by AI, do you? Demographic factors. We understand that life quality is improving, hence people are living longer, and it is clear that today's nation is getting older, getting retired, so percentage is more there. Right. But low unemployment doesn't mean no opportunities. It may indicate skills shortages as well, especially if we are talking about new sectors such as AI, for example. 2. Job creation rate. Well, now I want you to get another piece of paper and just write down the following. Which industries interested to you are growing versus contracting? Regional variations. Here, please have a think about the region where you are aiming to get job. Next is wage growth. Changes in compensation levels. Industries with fastest growing wages, just write them down. These ones which are in a circle of your interest, entry level versus experienced role compensation trends. And now let's think of job vacancy rates. Unfilled positions as a percentage of total jobs. High vacancy rates often indicate skills shortages. Industries struggling to find qualified candidates. Where to find current labor market data. National statistical agencies. Home Office for National Statistics. Industry associations and reports. Job search platforms, research departments, Indeed, LinkedIn. Business news publications. Economic development agencies, local and regional. And now we are going to apply this information to your job strategy, okay? Using the resources above, research. As the result, you will have the following. The unemployment rate in your target industry. Average wages for your target roles. Job growth projections for your region. Skills shortages in your target sector. I hope now you have some figures written down there. I'd just like to add that job advertisements themselves contain valuable market intelligence. Volume analysis. Increasing or decreasing number of postings in specific sectors. Skills analysis. Tracking changes in required skills for similar roles. Qualification inflation, deflation. Changes in required education or experience. Location patterns. Shifts toward remote, hybrid or in-office expectations. Compensation transparency. Trends in salary disclosure and negotiation leverage. Time to do some research for yourself now. Select 5 to 7 job postings for your target role and analyze. Common skills required across all postings. Emerging skills mentioned in only the most recent postings. Qualifications that appear to be must-have versus preferred. Language around work arrangement flexibility. Very well done. Time to move to the next part. Geographic market analysis. The importance of location varies dramatically by industry and role. Let's explore. Local market assessment. Industry clusters in your area. Companies expanding operations. Government initiatives creating job opportunities. Startups and new businesses as opportunity sources. And now, according to your desired job role, please identity. 1. The top 3 industries in your region by employment. 2. 3 to 5 companies that have announced growth or expansion plans. 3. Any economic development zones or incentive programs. 4. Local networking groups specific to your target industry. Another important thing to consider is global and remote work opportunities. The remote work revolution has created new possibilities. Remote-first companies, hybrid models, global talent platforms, digital nomad visas, cross-border employment regulations. Market insight. Remote job postings have stabilized at around 15% of all listings, concentrated in technology, marketing, customer service, and administrative roles. Understanding how entire industries are evolving helps identify emerging roles. Healthcare. Shift toward preventative care, home-based services, and telehealth. Retail. Integration of online and offline experiences, last-mile delivery innovation. Manufacturing. Advanced manufacturing, reshoring and automation integration. Financial services, digital banking, personalized services, and embedded finance. Education. Hybrid learning models, lifelong learning platforms, and alternative credentials. Now it's time to bring all this market intelligence together with your personal career profile. To identify your market position, please analyze this. Pause this video and take your time to do some analyzing for yourself now. Don't forget to note your results. So this is what you need to work on now. Market gaps. Unfilled needs in your target sectors. Personal differentiation. Your unique combination of skills and experiences. Opportunity sizing. Abundance or scarcity of relevant openings. Competitive assessment. Understanding other candidates in your space. And then, based on your market analysis, let's refine your career goals. The last thing you'll do for this module is this. Target roles. Specific positions aligned with market needs and your profile. Skill development priorities. Capabilities to develop based on market value. Application volume targets. Realistic submission goals based on market activity. Networking focus. Industry connections to prioritize. Location strategy. Geographic or remote work focus. We squeezed maximum for the research we did, and now we'll move to the next module. But before our next session, I want you to 1. Subscribe to industry news sources for your target sectors. 2. Set up job alerts on major platforms using insights from this module. 3. Join relevant professional groups online where industry trends are discussed. 4. Begin researching the target organizations identified in your opportunity map. You'll need that for the third module, where we will build a proper job search strategy. We'll use your market-aligned opportunity map to create a structured, efficient approach to finding and securing interviews for your target roles. And before we close this module, I just wanted to remind you that our Career League members receive monthly updated market intelligence reports for their specific industries. If you want to be a valuable member of it, please get in touch with our administrator via our email, hello@culturalinks.co.uk, or visit culturalinks.co.uk to learn about joining our community of successful job seekers, as well as getting more information about our free services. Welcome back, guys. I am really happy to see you here, because here in the third module we are building a proper job search strategy for you. By the end of this module, you'll create your personal job search action plan, a comprehensive document that includes your weekly schedule with specific activities for each pillar of your strategy, your opportunity qualification criteria tailored to your career goals, your application tracking system with initial targets, your follow-up templates and communication rules. In the previous modules, you discovered your unique strengths and analyzed market opportunities. Now it's time to develop a systematic approach that will transform your job search from random applications to a focused, professional campaign. The harsh reality is that most job seekers fail not because they aren't qualified, but because they use ineffective, scattered approaches. After 20+ years working with thousands of job seekers, I've found that having a structured strategy can reduce your job search time by 60%, while leading to better opportunities. Real success story. James had been applying to jobs online for 4 months with no interviews. He was highly qualified, but using a spray and pray approach, submitting dozens of generic applications weekly. After implementing the structured plan we'll cover today, he received 5 interview requests within 3 weeks and landed a role paying 30% more than his previous position. So I would hardly insist you to prepare paper and pencil to build up your personal way to your dream job. Okay, so let's start with the 5 pillars of an effective job search. Most job seekers focus almost exclusively on online applications. The least effective method of finding opportunities. A balanced strategy includes 5 key components. 1. Targeted applications. 20% of your time. Carefully selected, highly customized applications for positions perfectly aligned with your profile. 2. Networking. 40% of your time. Proactive connections with professionals in your target industries and organizations. 3. Direct outreach. 15% of your time. Approaching potential employers before positions are advertised. 4. Recruiter relationships. 15% of your time. Strategic partnerships with specialized recruiters who understand your value. 5. Personal brand building. 10% of your time. Enhancing your visibility in your professional community. Now, can you reflect on your current job search approach, please? And please be very honest with you. What percentage of your time do you currently spend on each pillar? How does this compare to the recommended allocation? Did it match with the recommended approach? Now, I would like to give you a template of a structured search requires specific, scheduled activities. Monday, planning and research day. Review and refine target company list, 30 minutes. Research 3 to 5 organizations in depth, 1 hour. Set specific goals for the week, 30 minutes. Tuesday, application day. Identify 3 to 5 highly aligned opportunities, 1 hour. Customize resume and cover letter for each, 2 to 3 hours. Submit applications and record details, 30 minutes. Wednesday, networking day. Engage in online professional communities, 30 minutes. Reach out to 3 to 5 new connections, 1 hour. Follow up with existing contacts, 1 hour. Thursday, direct outreach day. Identify 2 to 3 target organizations without posted openings, 30 minutes. Research appropriate contacts at each organization, 30 minutes. Craft and send personalized outreach messages, 1 hour. Friday, review and adapt day. Update application tracking system, 30 minutes. Follow up on applications from previous weeks, 1 hour. Evaluate what worked, didn't work this week, 30 minutes. Adjust next week's plan accordingly, 30 minutes. Let me tell you a recent story of one of our clients. Sarah, a marketing professional returning to work after raising children, dedicated Wednesdays entirely to attending virtual industry events and reaching out to former colleagues. Within a month, this networking focus led to an introduction to a marketing director who hired her for a role that was never publicly advertised. The job ended up being perfect for her work-life balance needs. So, using the template provided, pause this video and take your time to create your own weekly schedule that accommodates your current commitments, while ensuring focused time for each pillar of your job search strategy. Treat your job search like a job, not a joke. One of the biggest mistakes job seekers make is approaching their search casually and inconsistently. Key principles for effective job search time management. 1. Set regular working hours. Whether you're searching full-time or around another job, establish consistent hours dedicated exclusively to your search. For example, if you're currently employed, you might dedicate 7 o'clock to 8:30 a.m. before work, lunch breaks, and Sunday afternoons to your job search activities. The consistency matters more than the total time. 2. Create a dedicated workspace. Designate a specific physical environment for your job search activities. Why this matters? Your brain forms environmental associations. A dedicated space signals to your brain that it's time to focus on job searching, not relaxing or handling other responsibilities. 3. Implement the Pomodoro technique. Work in focused 25-minute intervals, called Pomodoros, followed by 5-minute breaks. For example, during one Pomodoro, focus solely on researching a target company. During the next, draft a customized cover letter. The time constraint creates urgency that combats procrastination. 4. Batch similar tasks. Group activities requiring similar mental energy and resources. Why this matters? Task switching has a cognitive cost. By batching similar activities, Like all research tasks or all follow-up emails, you maintain focus and efficiency. 5. Use the 80/20 rule, Pareto principle. Identify which 20% of your activities are generating 80% of your results. Now I prepared a special task for you, called Activity Audit. For 1 week, track all your job search activities and their outcomes. Which activities are yielding connections, conversations, and interviews? Which are producing no results? Use the worksheet provided to record this information. To prevent time wasting and followed frustration, let me give you some really useful advices. Based on data from thousands of job seekers, these are the activities that consume time with minimal results. 1. Excessive job board browsing. Limit job board time to scheduled periods, not constant checking. For example, instead of checking job boards multiple times daily, schedule a 30-minute job board review 3 times weekly, focusing only on newly posted positions that strongly match your criteria. Use filters provided in the job search engine, rather than just scrolling down the results offered. 2. Perfecting applications for poor fit roles. Don't spend hours tailoring applications for positions that aren't strong matches. Why this matters? Many job seekers pour energy into perfecting applications for roles where they meet only 50% of the requirements, rather than focusing on opportunities where they're 80% plus aligned. 3. Unstructured social media use. Distinguish between strategic networking and aimless scrolling. For example, schedule 20-minute LinkedIn sessions with specific goals, e.g., connect with 3 people from target company X, or comment meaningfully on 5 industry-relevant posts, rather than browsing without purpose. 4. Awaiting responses before continuing. Never pause your search while waiting to hear back about an application. Why this matters? The job search momentum should never stop until you've accepted an offer. Pausing after interviews or promising applications is one of the biggest causes of prolonged unemployment. Review your past week of job searching. Identify at least 3 activities that consumed time without producing meaningful progress. How can you eliminate or reduce these? Great, so now we have something to work on. Let's score each potential application on these factors, 1 to 5 scale. 1. Skills match. How closely do your actual skills align with the core requirements? For example, a position requiring 3 years of project management experience when you have 5 years is a strong match. 5. A position requiring specific technical skills you don't possess is a poor match. 1. 2. Experience level alignment. Is the seniority level appropriate for your background? Why this matters? Applying for positions well above or below your experience level rarely succeeds and can damage your confidence. Target roles where you can demonstrate 70 to 80% of the requirements. 3. Company culture compatibility. Based on research, would you thrive in this organization? For example, if you value work flexibility, but the company emphasizes rigid in-office schedules, this signals a potential mismatch regardless of your qualifications. Growth potential. Does this role offer development in your desired direction? Why this matters? The best opportunities aren't always the highest paying or most prestigious. Roles that develop marketable skills often prove more valuable long-term. 5. Application timing. How recent is the posting? For example, applications submitted within 48 hours of posting receive 8x more attention than those submitted after 2 weeks. Prioritize fresh opportunities. Okay, so now let's go online. Do you remember I asked you to write down 1 or 2 job search engines, so can you open one of them? Select 3 job postings you're considering. Score each using the framework above. Which scores highest? Which factors influenced your evaluation most? And as always, there is something else I would like to talk you through. Recognizing red flags in job postings. It is really important for you to learn to identify warning signs that can save you from problematic situations. 1. Vague job responsibilities. Posts that describe the company extensively, but provide minimal detail about actual job duties. Why this matters? Unclear expectations often lead to role confusion, overwork, and poor performance evaluations. 2. Unrealistic requirement combinations. Postings asking for rare skill combinations, or junior-level experience, with senior-level responsibilities. For example, entry-level marketing coordinator with 5+ years experience, or must know 10 programming languages and have MBA. 3. Compensation red flags. Watch for competitive salary with no range, unlimited earning potential, or commission-only structures. Why this matters. Transparency about compensation typically indicates organizational honesty in other areas as well. 4. High turnover indicators. Multiple openings for the same role or reposted positions. For example, if you see the same job posted every few months, research on Glassdoor or LinkedIn to determine if people are leaving frequently. Let's try to practice now. Review 5 job postings in your field. Identify potential red flags in each. Using the checklist provided, would you still apply to these positions? Why or why not? And the last thing for this module. It might seem not important or useless, but I insist and assure you it is not. Even more. It's must-have. Tracking applications and follow-ups. The average job search involves dozens of applications, each at different stages. Without a tracking system, opportunities fall through the cracks. Essential components of your tracking system. 1. Let me give you an idea for a draft of your application records for each position. Document. Company name and position title. Application date. Job posting link. Key requirements. Contact information for hiring manager. Resume version submitted. Application status. 2. Follow-up. Schedule, plan and track. Initial application confirmation. 3 to 5 days after applying. Status check. 1 to 2 weeks after applying. Post-interview thank you notes. Within 24 hours. Interview follow-up. 1 week after interview. 3. Company research notes maintain. Key company facts. Recent news developments. Potential conversation points. Networking contacts within the organization. Using the template provided, create your personal application tracking system. If you have existing applications, enter them now. Choose the format that works best for you. Spreadsheet, Word document, Kanban board, or specialized app. The art of the professional follow-up. Following up appropriately can double your interview chances, but requires finesse. 1. Timing your communications. Initial application. 3 to 5 business days if no confirmation. General follow-up. 1 to 2 weeks after application. Post-interview. Thank you within 24 hours. Status check within 1 week. Why this matters. Too frequent follow-ups appear desperate. Too infrequent suggests lack of interest. 2. Communication channels. Email. Best for initial follow-ups and thank you notes. Phone. Appropriate after established contact. LinkedIn. Suitable for connection, but rarely for application follow-up. For example, after an interview, send a personalized email thank you within 24 hours. If you haven't heard back after 1 week, a brief phone call to express continued interest is appropriate. 3. Value-adding follow-ups. Move beyond checking in by providing additional value. For example, since our conversation about your marketing challenges, I came across this research that might be relevant to your campaign planning. I've attached a brief summary with thoughts on how it might apply to what we discussed. 4. Knowing when to move on. Establish personal rules for persistence versus redirection of energy. Why this matters. Many job seekers waste emotional energy and time focusing on opportunities that have moved on. Generally, after 3 unanswered follow-up attempts, redirect your energy to new opportunities. Now, I want you to pull together a few drafts. Draft 3 follow-up templates. 1. Post-application status inquiry. 2. Post-interview thank you. 3. Value-adding follow-up. Why this matters. This action plan transforms your job search from reactive to proactive, giving you control over the process and dramatically improving your results. Real-world application. Before our next session. 1. Implement your weekly schedule for at least 5 days. 2. Qualify at least 10 potential opportunities using the framework. 3. Set up your tracking system with any current applications. 4. Draft and send at least 3 strategic follow-ups. Great! Having your personal strategy plan, we are ready to move to the next module. In Module 4, CV and Cover Letter Creation and Tailoring, we'll use your market-aligned opportunity map and job search action plan to create application materials that stand out to both human reviewers and applicant tracking systems. Remember, our Career League members receive personalized feedback on their job search strategies and weekly accountability check-ins. Visit culturalinks.co.uk to learn about joining our community of successful job seekers. As part of our support for job seekers, we've created a space called the Career League, where members receive personalized feedback on their job search strategies, as well as regular accountability check-ins to help them stay on track. It's designed to give structure, support, and motivation throughout the job search journey. In addition to this, we also have an ATS-compliant CV system in place. So, if someone just wants to check if their CV meets current standards, they can simply get in touch with our administrator at hello@culturallinks.co.uk. We're happy to review it and provide guidance. For those who need more hands-on help, we offer free CV writing sessions, either working with a participant to create their CV, or, if they prefer, their personal coach can do it for them for additional payment, but we will make sure your CV is up to the latest British Labour standards. It's a worthwhile investment for anyone serious about improving their chances in today's competitive job market. All of this information, including how to join the Career League or book a CV session, is available on our website at culturallinks.co.uk, or can be requested directly by email. Welcome to Module 4 of your journey to landing your dream job. Now that you've assessed your skills, analyzed the market, and created a structured search strategy, it's time to develop your most crucial job search tools, your CV and cover letter. So by the end of this module, you'll create 1. An ATS-optimized master CV in both Word and PDF formats. 2. A tailored CV for a specific target position. 3. A customized cover letter template with modifiable sections. 4. A keyword bank for your industry and target roles. Many job seekers make a critical mistake. They create one generic CV and cover letter, then use the same documents for every application. From my 20+ years working with hiring managers across 4 countries, I can tell you with certainty, this approach almost never works. Today's hiring processes are more competitive than ever. Most corporate positions receive 250+ applications, with hiring managers spending an average of just 6 to 7 seconds on initial CV screenings. Your documents must instantly communicate your value and relevance to stand a chance. Let me tell you a real story. Elena had applied to 87 positions using her one-size-fits-all CV with 0 interviews. After applying the techniques we'll cover today, she submitted just 12 tailored applications and received 4 interview requests, a 38% success rate compared to her previous 0%. So let's speak about modern resume formats and best practices. Understanding today's CV landscape. CVs have evolved dramatically in recent years due to changing reader expectations and the rise of applicant tracking systems, ATS. What are they? Applicant tracking systems are software tools used by companies to manage job applications. They help streamline the hiring process by automating tasks like resume screening, candidate filtering, and interview scheduling. How do ATS work? 1. Resume parsing. When you apply for a job, your resume is uploaded into the ATS. The system extracts relevant information, like your contact details, work experience, education, and skills. 2. Candidate screening. ATS software filters candidates based on specific criteria set by the recruiter, such as keywords from the job description. This helps identify the most suitable candidates. 3. Job posting and distribution. ATS allows recruiters to post job openings across multiple platforms, making it easier to reach a wider pool of candidates. 4. Applicant interaction. ATS facilitates communication between recruiters and candidates through automated emails and interview scheduling tools. So as you see, times when we could just go to the desired company, knock their door and handle them our CV, done and never come back. Even though, now recruiters are not ready to spend hours reading your CV, some of them just literally receive up to 150 CVs a day. And keep in mind, their job adverts may be live for a month and more. There is no way they can deal with this amount. So this is obvious and understandable that this process will be automated to the maximum extent possible. Basically, there is 98% of the chance your CV will speak to a machine with strictly set filters, and only then it might go to a human being. So our task is to create a CV which will go through any CV scanners or ATS. Let's explore the key formats and when to use each. 1. Chronological CV. The traditional format focusing on work history in reverse chronological order. Best for candidates with steady career progression in the same field. Example structure. Professional summary, 3 to 5 lines. Work experience, most recent first. Education, skills, additional sections, certifications, volunteer work, etc. Why it works. Hiring managers can quickly see career progression and time in each role. 2. Functional/skills-based CV. Emphasizes skills and accomplishments rather than work chronology. Best for career changes, those with employment gaps, or those returning to work after a long break. Example structure: professional summary, core competencies/skills sections, relevant accomplishments grouped by skill area, brief work history, often without dates, education, why it works. Draws attention to transferable skills rather than lack of direct experience or gaps. 3. Hybrid/combination CV. Blends chronological work history with emphasized skill sections. Best for most job seekers, especially those with some relevant experience who want to highlight specific skills. Example structure: professional summary, core skills/competencies section, work experience with accomplishments, education, additional sections, why it works. Satisfies both human readers, who often prefer chronological, and ATS systems, which scan for skills. No, I want you to review the 3 formats and determine which best suits your situation. Consider your work history, career goals, and target positions. Use this information to note the advantages and disadvantages of each format for your specific circumstances. Essential elements of modern CVs. Regardless of format, today's effective CVs share these critical components. 1. Compelling professional summary. Replace outdated objective statements with a powerful 3 to 5 line summary. For example, instead of seeking a challenging position where I can utilize my skills, use detail-oriented project manager with 7+ years experience delivering complex IT implementations on time and under budget, skilled in stakeholder communication, risk management, and team leadership in multicultural environments. Why this matters: this is your elevator pitch, and often the only section fully read during initial screenings. 2. Keywords and skills section. A dedicated section, highlighting your relevant skills and expertise. Here you can use that work paper from the first module, where we identified your skills. For example, technical skills, Salesforce CRM, SQL, Google Analytics, HubSpot, Microsoft Power BI. Soft skills, cross-functional team leadership, client relationship management, strategic planning. Why this matters: this section serves both human readers looking for specific capabilities and ATS systems scanning for keywords. 3. Accomplishment-focused experience descriptions. Transform job duties into achievement statements. And I strongly believe that this is the only way to impress the reader. Numbers can speak much louder than just ordinary job duties description. For example, instead of responsible for customer service and handling complaints, use improved customer satisfaction scores by 27% through implementing a new resolution protocol and training team members on empathetic communication techniques. Why this matters: achievements demonstrate the value you'll bring, not just the tasks you can perform. 4. Strategic content placement. Place your most relevant information in the top third of the first page. By the way, they shouldn't be more than 2 pages in your CV. Why this matters: studies using eye tracking technology show that recruiters focus primarily on the top third of the first page during initial screenings. Let's have a proper look at CV design and formatting best practices. Visual presentation significantly impacts how your CV is perceived. 1. Clean, professional layout. Consistent formatting, headings, bullet points, spacing. Appropriate margins, 0.5 to 1. Sufficient white space to avoid overcrowding. Why this matters: cluttered, inconsistent formatting suggests disorganized thinking and lack of attention to detail. 2. Strategic use of formatting. Bold for section headings and key achievements. Bullets for easy scanning. Keep to 5 to 7 per role. Columns for efficient space usage, if ATS compatible. For example, bold your job titles if they show progression. Bold company names, dates of working there. 3. ATS-friendly design elements. Standard readable fonts. Arial, Calibri, Georgia, 10 to 12 pt. Simple, clean design without tables or text boxes. PDF format for human readers. Word for ATS submissions. Why this matters: complex designs, graphics, and unusual fonts can confuse ATS systems and cause your CV to be rejected before a human ever sees it. 4. Length considerations. Early career, 0 to 5 years, 1 page. Mid-career, 5 to 15 years, 1 to 2 pages. Senior level, 15 plus years. 2 pages maximum. Example. For a 10-year career, detail the last 7 to 8 years thoroughly, then summarize earlier positions briefly. Okay, time to check your CV now. Please open your CV, or get a printed copy of it. Examine your current CV design against the examples provided. Identify design improvements you could make immediately to enhance readability and professional appearance. Great. When you're done, we'll move to the next part where we are going to speak about tailoring applications for specific roles. Generic applications signal lack of interest and understanding. Tailoring isn't just about minor tweaks. It's about positioning yourself as the solution to the employer's specific needs. My advice to you is, maintain a master CV with all your experience, then customize for each application. 1. Analyze the job description. Identify required skills and qualifications, preferred skills and qualifications, key responsibilities, company values and language. For example, for a project management role emphasizing stakeholder communication, prioritize examples of your successful stakeholder management over technical PM skills. 2. Prioritize relevant experience. Reorder bullet points to lead with most relevant accomplishments. Expand descriptions for highly relevant roles. Condense less relevant positions. Why this matters. Placing the most relevant information first accommodates the brief screening time your CV will receive. 3. Mirror language and keywords. Use the exact terminology from the job description. Include industry-specific jargon, if appropriate. Quantify achievements using metrics that matter to the role. For example, if the job posting mentions cross-functional team leadership, don't use led interdepartmental groups. Use their exact phrasing. 4. Customize your professional summary. Adjust your summary to highlight experiences and strengths most relevant to each position. Why this matters. This is often the only section read thoroughly during initial screening. Let's do some practice now. Select a job posting aligned with your career goals. Use this worksheet to identify key requirements and map them to your experiences. Draft a tailored professional summary, and at least 3 customized achievement statements. Here I'd like to add that we have a separate course on how to write a winning CV. It's very detailed step-by-step instruction with examples. It's really the best on the market now. If you need more information about who to write your winning CV, please get in touch with our administrator via hello@culturalinks.co.uk. And we are moving on. Cover letter, customization strategies. A tailored cover letter is your opportunity to tell your career story and demonstrate genuine interest. Plus, in your cover letter you can say much more than in your CV, but there are some things that you must keep your eye on. Essential cover letter components. 1. Customized opening. Establish why you're interested in this specific role at this particular company. For example, instead of, I am writing to apply for the marketing manager position I saw advertised, use, as someone who has admired XYZ company's innovative approach to sustainable marketing campaigns, particularly your recent award-winning initiative with ABC client, I was excited to see your marketing manager opening. Why this matters. Generic openings signal a mass application approach. 2. Value proposition paragraph. Explicitly connect your experience to their needs. For example, your job description emphasizes the need for experience managing complex digital marketing campaigns across multiple channels. During my tenure at Company A, I led 12 integrated campaigns that increased conversion rates by an average of 34%, while reducing cost per acquisition by 18%. 3. Organizational alignment. Demonstrate knowledge of and connection to their culture and values. Why this matters. Cultural fit is a major hiring consideration. Showing you've researched beyond basic company facts signals genuine interest. 4. Specific call to action end. With confidence and clarity about next steps. For example, instead of, I look forward to hearing from you, use, I'm excited about the possibility of bringing my experience in specific skill to your team, and would welcome the opportunity to discuss how my approach to relevant challenge could benefit, company name. I'll follow up next week to see if we might schedule a conversation. There are thousands of templates and cover letter builders online. Please use them as well as AI tools. Great. So next part I'd like to talk you through is addressing gaps in your employment history. Gaps in work history are increasingly common and less stigmatized than in the past, but they still need to be handled strategically. This is what you won't be able to avoid, and it is better to be prepared to explain them in the best outcome for you. Common gap scenarios and solutions. 1. Parental leave, family care. List skills developed during this period, organization, time management, etc. Include relevant volunteer work or part-time activities. Be straightforward without apologizing. For example, rather than hiding a 3-year gap, you might include 2018 to 2021, family care sabbatical. Maintained professional skills through online courses in relevant topic and volunteer consulting for organization. 2. Health-related gaps. Focus on recovery and renewed energy. Highlight any educational projects during this period. Emphasize current capabilities without details about health issues. Why this matters. Addressing gaps directly prevents hiring managers from making negative assumptions. 3. Educational pursuits. Frame the gap as an intentional development period. Connect new knowledge to the target role. Include projects or internships during this time. 4. Involuntary unemployment. Focus on productive activities during the gap. Include freelance work, consulting, or volunteering. Emphasize ongoing skill development. For example, 2020-2021, career development period. Completed certification in relevant skill, conducted freelance, relevant work for 3 clients, and volunteered leadership skills as board member for organization. What to do if you had significant gaps in your CV? Here are some ideas for you. 1. Functional/skills format. Organize experience by skill areas rather than chronology. 2. Hybrid format with skills emphasis. Begin with robust skills sections before work history. 3. Year-only format. List years rather than months to minimize the appearance of shorter gaps. Okay, let's get back to your CV now and apply this gap explanation strategy to it. If you have employment gaps, draft alternative ways to present them using the strategies above. For each approach, consider the impression it creates and choose the most positive, honest framing. Addressing gaps in cover letters. Often, briefly acknowledging significant gaps in cover letters is preferable to leaving questions unanswered. Effective gap explanation approaches. 1. The growth narrative. Frame the gap as a period of development and preparation for this next role. For example, after 10 years in retail management, I took a deliberate 1-year career break to complete my digital marketing certification and reorient my career toward my long-standing interest in e-commerce strategy. 2. The value-added perspective. Emphasize skills gained during the gap that benefit the target role. Why this matters. This transforms a potential negative into evidence of your growth mindset. 3. The confident acknowledgement. Briefly address the gap without over-explanation or apology. For example, after taking time for family care responsibilities, I've maintained my professional skills through relevant activities and am energized to return to full-time work with my expanded perspective and renewed focus. And now it's time to speak about the most exciting and important part. ATS optimization techniques. Understanding applicant tracking systems. Over 98% of large companies use ATS software to screen initial applications, making optimization essential for getting your CV seen by human eyes. They set ATS in a specific and unique way, and it is obvious that different companies set it differently for themselves. That's why I'd like to emphasize again that if you want to save your time and get the desired job quick, you must tailor your CV for each role. So, how ATS systems work? 1. Keyword scanning. ATS programs search for specific terms related to technical skills, soft skills, qualifications and certifications, job titles, industry terminology. 2. Ranking algorithms. Applications are scored based on keyword matches, keyword placement/prominence, experience duration, education requirements. 3. Parsing limitations. Most ATS systems struggle with complex formatting, tables and columns, headers/footers, graphics and charts, unusual fonts. For example, a beautifully designed CV, with skills presented in a creative graphic, might impress a human reader, but could be completely missed by an ATS. So what should we do then now? Let's check ATS optimization strategies. 1. Keyword integration. Use both spelled-out terms and acronyms, e.g., search engine optimization, SEO. Include industry-specific terminology from the job description. Place critical keywords in section headings and the professional summary. Why this matters. ATS systems often weight keywords differently based on placement, with those in headings or at the beginning of sections scoring higher. 2. Format for compatibility. Use standard section headings, e.g., work experience, not where I've made an impact. Avoid text boxes, tables, and columns unless you're certain they're ATS compatible. Use standard bullets rather than custom symbols. For example, instead of a 2-column format that places skills in a side column, list them in a standard section that's easily parsed. 3. File type considerations. Submit in MS Word format when possible for maximum ATS compatibility. If PDF is required, ensure it's a text-based PDF, not a scanned image. Remove hyperlinks before ATS submission. 4. ATS optimized templates. Several modern CV templates balance visual appeal with ATS compatibility. Okay, great. I hope you didn't hide your CV too far yet. Let's get back to your CV now. Please pause this video, and using the checklist provided, evaluate your current CV for ATS compatibility. Identify any elements that might prevent proper parsing and note alternatives. And the last bit I'd like to appoint is, the ideal CV works for both algorithms and human readers. So let's have another look at your CV, and now, after we made the ATS happy, time to make a human being happy as well. Imagine yourself an HR or recruiter and having your CV in front of yourself. Have a look at it. What hits your eye first? Can you see the most important T and relevant to the role information? I'll tell you what, a recruiter spends 8 seconds in average for one CV, and if your CV can hold their attention for at least 8 seconds, you have done a brilliant job. But if your CV really stands out and catches the recruiter attention and makes them want to read more, then you have reached the point. You will be invited for the interview. So please tailor your CV and make sure you are aware of this. 1. 2. Version strategy. Maintain an ATS optimized version for online applications, a more designed version for networking, interviews, and direct emails. 2. Strategic keyword placement. Integrate keywords naturally within achievement statements. For example, instead of managed projects for clients, use led cross-functional project management for enterprise clients, delivering 15 technology implementation projects averaging $1.2 million each. You see, likely this $1.2 million will say nothing to the machine, ATS, but it will definitely catch recruiters' attention. 3. Content-first design. Choose templates that enhance readability without sacrificing ATS compatibility. For example, use subtle color in section headings, consistent formatting, and adequate whitespace to create visual appeal without complex design elements. Well, we've done a brilliant job and we're about to finish. Just a few more words before we move to the next module. So, before our next session, 1. Apply the design principles to create or update your master CV. 2. Identify 3 target job postings and customize your CV for each. 3. Test your CV with a free ATS simulation tool online. 4. Create your personalized cover letter framework. And just to remind you, if you need more help, support, or guidance, please do not hesitate to get back to us via our email, hello@culturalinks.co.uk, or just simply check our website out, culturalinks.co.uk. In today's competitive job market, having the right skills is only half the battle. How you present yourself online, your personal brand and digital presence, can be the deciding factor in whether you land your dream job or get overlooked. This module will guide you through creating a compelling professional image that makes employers take notice. Think of your personal brand as your professional reputation. It's what people say about you when you're not in the room. Your digital presence is how that brand comes to life online. Together they tell your professional story. Whether you've been out of work for years, are just starting your career, or have recently arrived in a new country, these strategies will help you stand out in a positive way. What you will learn in module. By the end of this module, you will be able to create a consistent professional image that makes employers remember you for the right reasons. Build an effective personal website or portfolio that showcases your skills. Take control of your online reputation. Use social media strategically for career advancement. Implement a practical 30-day plan to establish your professional online presence. Apply digital branding strategies that work for your specific situation. Creating a consistent professional image. What is a professional image? Your professional image is how you present yourself in work settings, both online and offline. It combines your appearance, communication style, expertise, and values. A strong professional image makes people remember you for the right reasons. Step 1. Define your professional identity. Before you can present yourself to others, you need to know who you are professionally. Self-assessment questions. What work are you most proud of? What problems do you enjoy solving? What do people consistently praise you for? What makes you different from others in your field? For example, if you're applying for customer service roles, and people always comment on how patient and understanding you are, patience should be part of your professional identity. If you're a programmer who's especially good at explaining technical concepts to non-technical people, that's a distinguishing characteristic to highlight. Step 2. Create your personal brand statement. A personal brand statement is a short description of who you are professionally and what makes you unique. Think of it as your professional tagline. Formula. I help target audience with your service/skill through your unique approach. Examples. I help small businesses increase sales through affordable data-driven marketing strategies. I transform complex technical information into clear documentation that saves engineers time. I create welcoming retail environments where customers feel valued and staff feel motivated. Your statement should be specific enough to set you apart, but broad enough to allow flexibility in your career. Step 3. Ensure visual consistency. Visual consistency helps people recognize and remember you across different platforms. Professional photo tips. Use the same professional photo across all platforms. Choose a clear, well-lit headshot where you look approachable. Dress as you would for your industry, for example business casual for most office roles, more formal for finance or law. Use a neutral background that won't distract from your face. Update your photo every 2 to 3 years to keep it current. Visual branding. Choose 2 to 3 colors that represent your professional identity, for example, blue for trustworthiness, orange for creativity. Select a consistent font style for your materials. Consider creating a simple personal logo if appropriate for your field. For example, if you're a graphic designer named Maria, you might use teal and dark gray as your brand colors, a modern sans serif font, and a simple M logo that appears on your website, business cards and portfolio. Step 4. Align your message across platforms. Your professional message should be consistent, whether someone finds you on LinkedIn, your personal website, or other platforms. Consistency checklist. Same job title/professional description everywhere. Same core skills highlighted. Same tone of voice in your writing. Same career story and major accomplishments. For example, if you describe yourself as a detail-oriented project manager specializing in healthcare technology implementation on LinkedIn, don't call yourself a health IT specialist on your resume. The inconsistency can make employers question your focus or honesty. Developing a personal website, portfolio. Why you need a personal website. A personal website serves as your digital home base, a place you control completely that showcases your best work and tells your professional story. You will also add its link to your CV, as well as LinkedIn's one. Benefits. Demonstrates technical awareness and digital literacy. Provides evidence of your skills and experience. Makes you more discoverable in online searches. Shows commitment to your professional development. Gives you complete control over your presentation. For example, Mohammed was applying for entry-level marketing positions, but had limited experience. By creating a website that included case studies of mock marketing campaigns he created for practice, he demonstrated his knowledge and creativity, helping him land interviews despite his limited work history. Website content essentials. Homepage. Include a professional photo, your name, professional title, and a brief compelling statement about what you do. This is your digital first impression. For example, hello, I'm Alex Chen. I'm a UX designer who creates intuitive digital experiences that solve real human problems. Welcome to my portfolio. About page. Tell your professional story, including your background, what motivates you, and your professional philosophy. Keep it focused on information relevant to your career goals. For example, instead of just listing where you went to school, explain how your educational background gave you unique perspectives that benefit your work. My background in psychology before entering web development helps me understand user behavior and create more intuitive interfaces. Portfolio. Work samples. Show examples of your best work, even if they're from personal projects, volunteer work or coursework. For each project, include clear images/examples of the work, your specific role in the project, the problem you were solving, your process, the results, or impact. For example, if you're a writer, don't just post an article you wrote. Explain the audience it was for, the goal of the piece, how you researched it, and any positive feedback or results it generated. Skills and services. Clearly list what you can do for potential employers or clients. For example, instead of just listing Microsoft Excel, specify advanced Excel skills, including complex formulas, pivot tables, and data visualization. Contact information. Make it easy for people to reach you with professional contact details and possibly a contact form. Website platforms for beginners. You don't need coding skills to create a professional website. Many platforms offer templates and drag-and-drop functionality. Popular options. Wix. Very user-friendly with many templates. WordPress.com. Powerful and customizable. Squarespace. Clean, professional designs. Google Sites. Simple and free. Card. Perfect for simple one-page websites. Budget considerations. Free options. Google Sites. WordPress.com. Basic. Wix. Basic. Low-cost options. 5 to 15 a month. WordPress.com. Premium. Wix. Premium. Squarespace. Custom domain name. Usually $10, $15 per year. For example, Fatima was a recent graduate with no budget for a website. She used Google Sites to create a free portfolio site, then invested $12 in a custom domain name, FatimaRodriguez.com, to make it look more professional when sharing the link with employers. Website content tips. Use clear, simple language. Avoid jargon and complicated sentences. Write as if you're explaining your work to someone outside your field. For example, instead of implemented cross-functional methodologies to optimize interdepartmental communication frameworks, write, created a new system that helped different teams communicate more effectively, reducing project delays by 30%. Incorporate testimonials. Include positive feedback from colleagues, clients, or supervisors with their permission. For example, Sarah transformed our outdated inventory system into a streamlined process that saved us hours each week. Her attention to detail and ability to understand our needs made all the difference. John Martin, Operations Manager. Tell stories. People remember stories better than lists of facts. Frame your accomplishments as brief stories with a problem, your action, and the result. For example, instead of saying you have excellent customer service skills, tell a brief story about how you turned an angry customer into a loyal one through your approach to problem solving. Update regularly. Add new projects, update your skills, and refresh your content at least quarterly to show you're active and growing professionally. Managing your online reputation. Audit your current digital footprint. Before you can manage your online reputation, you need to know what's already out there. Step-by-step digital audit. 1. Search your name. Use Google, Bing, and other search engines. Try variations of your name and add your location or profession, e.g., James Smith, Accountant, Chicago. 2. Check image results. Click on images in search results to see what photos of you are publicly available. 3. Search social media. Look yourself up on platforms you use and those you don't. Sometimes old accounts you've forgotten can appear in searches. 4. Go beyond page 1. Check at least the first 3 to 5 pages of search results. 5. Use incognito mode. Search using your browser's private or incognito mode to see results that aren't influenced by your browsing history. For example, when Javier did this exercise, he discovered an old Twitter account he had forgotten about, with some unprofessional posts from his college years. He immediately deleted the account to protect his professional image. Clean up negative content. If you find content that could harm your professional image, take action to address it. For content you control, delete inappropriate social media posts. Remove unflattering photos. Update or delete old blogs or websites with outdated information. For content others have posted, politely ask friends to remove or untag you from unflattering content. Contact website owners to request removal of negative content. Use platform reporting tools for truly harmful content. For example, Elena found that an old blog post she wrote during a difficult time included negative comments about her previous employer. She deleted the post immediately, knowing that potential employers might view such comments as unprofessional. Create positive content to outrank negative results. The best defense is a good offense. Creating new, positive content can help push down negative results in search rankings. Positive content strategies. Publish articles on LinkedIn or Medium. Create a YouTube channel with professional content. Start a professional blog. Comment thoughtfully on industry articles. Participate in professional forums. For example, when Ahmed discovered that search results for his name showed someone with a similar name who had legal troubles, he began writing weekly articles about his industry on Medium. After 3 months, his articles dominated the first page of results when searching his name, effectively burying the negative content. Set up monitoring tools. Stay on top of new mentions of your name online with automated tools. Recommended tools. Google Alerts. Free. Mention. Paid with free option. Brand yourself. Paid. Social mention free. Privacy settings review. Carefully manage what the public can see about you on social platforms. Platform by platform guide. Facebook. Set all past posts to friends only. Review tags before they appear on your profile. Hide your friends list from the public. Consider limiting who can send you friend requests. Instagram. Consider a private account for personal content. If public, review all old photos for professional appropriateness. Manage third-party app permissions. What used to be Twitter, but it's now X. Review and delete inappropriate tweets. Consider using Twitter's protected tweets feature for personal accounts. Be mindful of who you follow and what you like. Using social media professionally beyond LinkedIn. Strategic platform selection. Not every platform is right for every profession. Choose platforms that match your industry and strengths. Platform guide by industry. Twitter, or now X. Great for journalists, writers, marketing professionals, technology workers, academics. Professional users. Industry news, networking, participating in Twitter chats, sharing articles and insights. For example, Priya was a data analyst looking to advance her career. She created a Twitter account where she shared daily data visualization tips and commented on industry trends. After 6 months, she had built a network of industry professionals and was invited to speak at a conference based on her Twitter presence. Instagram. Great for designers, photographers, artists, chefs, fashion professionals, architects, interior designers. Professional uses. Visual portfolio. Behind-the-scenes content, process videos, before-after transformations. YouTube. Great for educators, consultants, trainers, technical professionals, public speakers. Professional uses. Tutorials, demonstrations, presentations, thought leadership videos. TikTok. Great for creative professionals, marketers, educators, small business owners. Professional uses. Quick tips, skills demonstrations, day-in-the-life content, educational content. For example, David was a math tutor who created 60-second TikTok videos explaining complex math concepts with real-world examples. His engaging approach went viral several times, bringing him more tutoring clients than he could accept. Pinterest. Great for designers, event planners, retailers, crafters, stylists, architects. Professional uses. Visual portfolio, inspiration boards, tutorials, product showcases. Social media isn't just about posting, it's about building relationships. Now let's consider some common questions and challenges. I don't have much professional experience to showcase. Focus on projects, even personal or educational ones, volunteer work, relevant hobbies, and skill demonstrations. Show your potential rather than just your history. I'm not comfortable putting myself out there online. Start small with the most professional platforms like LinkedIn. You can control your privacy and gradually expand your comfort zone. I don't have time to maintain multiple platforms. It's better to have a strong presence on 1 or 2 platforms than a weak presence on many. Choose the most relevant platforms for your industry. English isn't my first language. I'm worried about making mistakes. Use tools like Grammarly to check your writing, and focus on platforms where your work can speak for itself. Remember that perfect English isn't required to demonstrate your professional value. Building a strong personal brand and digital presence isn't optional in today's job market. It's essential. By thoughtfully crafting how you appear online, you create opportunities that might never come through traditional job applications alone. Remember that your digital presence is a marathon, not a sprint. Start with the basics, be consistent, and focus on quality over quantity. Even small, regular efforts will compound over time to create a powerful professional image that opens doors to your dream job. The most important step is to begin. Your future employer is searching for someone like you right now. Make sure they can find you. Unlocking LinkedIn, your secret weapon in the modern job hunt. Why LinkedIn matters more than you think. Imagine walking into a room with 900 million professionals, including thousands of recruiters actively searching for someone with your exact skills. That's LinkedIn in a nutshell. It's not just another social media platform. It's potentially your golden ticket to opportunities you'd never find through traditional job boards. Take Sarah, for example. After applying to 50-plus positions through job sites with 0 responses, she optimized her LinkedIn profile and suddenly had 3 recruiters reaching out within a week. The difference? Visibility and credibility, in a space where professionals actually gather. So here we are today, focusing on crafting a profile that makes recruiters stop scrolling. The psychology behind profile photos. Your profile photo creates an immediate subconscious impression. Consider James, who switched from a casual selfie to a professional headshot, and saw profile views increase by 38% in 2 weeks. Why? Because a professional photo signals competence before a single word is read. For the budget-conscious, Jenna created a stunning profile photo by simply standing near a window with natural light, wearing a solid blue shirt against a plain wall, and having her roommate take the photo with portrait mode. Cost, 0. Impact, priceless. Your headline, the 10-second pitch that follows you everywhere. Think of your headline as your personal billboard that appears everywhere you interact on LinkedIn. Rather than the default marketing associate at XYZ company, try this formula. Role plus specialty plus value. For instance, Diego transformed his bland accountant headline to Financial Detective, Finding Hidden Tax Savings, Helping Small Businesses Keep More Profit. This headline followed him everywhere on LinkedIn, making him memorable in ways his original title never could. The About section, your professional story, not your resume. Your About section isn't just a place to list qualifications, it's where you transform from a list of credentials into a human with a compelling story. Consider how Priya opened her About section. I turn chaotic spreadsheets into business clarity. That single line hooked readers immediately, making them want to learn how she developed this skill through her journey, from analyst to data strategist. Experience section, proving impact, not just presence. Anyone can list job duties. Winners show measurable impact. Compare these 2 descriptions. Boring. Responsible for customer service and handling complaints. Compelling. Transformed the customer complaint process, reducing resolution time from 72 hours to just 4 hours, which decreased customer churn by 23% and saved approximately $145,000 annually. Real example. Marcus, a warehouse worker, didn't just list managed inventory. Instead, he wrote, redesigned storage layout that improved picking efficiency by 34%, becoming the template now used across all regional facilities. This single bullet demonstrated his initiative, problem-solving ability, and measurable impact. Creating content that makes you visible to the right people. The content secret most people miss. Here's what most job seekers don't realize. You don't need thousands of followers to benefit from creating content. You just need the right 50 to 100 people in your industry to regularly see your name associated with intelligent insights. When Miguel, an aspiring UX designer, started posting simple breakdowns of effective website features he encountered daily, he wasn't expecting much. But after just 8 posts, a creative director commented, "Love how you think about user experience, we should talk." That conversation led to an interview. Content that actually works, without consuming your life. Instead of creating time-consuming original content daily, try this proven approach. Monday Mashup. Share an industry article with 2 to 3 paragraphs of your unique perspective. Like how Elena shared a cybersecurity article adding, while the article focuses on large enterprise solutions, here's how small businesses can apply these same principles with limited budgets. Wednesday Wisdom. Share a quick tip from your professional experience. For example, Jamal, a project manager, shared, the 5-minute meeting trick that saved my team 3 hours weekly, starting every session by clearly stating what success looks like by the end. This simple twice-weekly approach helped Rahul, a recent graduate with minimal experience, establish enough credibility to land interviews at companies that initially rejected his direct applications. Engagement that creates actual relationships. Comments are your networking superpower when done right. Instead of generic, great post responses, try the 2-1-1 formula. 2 specific points you found valuable in their post. 1 insight you can add to the conversation. 1 thoughtful question that moves the discussion forward. For example, when commenting on a post about remote team management, Leela wrote, your points about setting clear expectations and creating virtual water cooler moments really resonated with me. I found that adding 5-minute personal check-ins before meetings also helps maintain team cohesion. Have you noticed differences in how introverts versus extroverts adapt to virtual team-building activities? This thoughtful comment led to a conversation with the author, a senior manager who later recommended her for a position. Building a network of champions, not just connections. Quality connections, your career insurance policy. Carlos had 300 focused connections in his target industry. His classmate Miguel boasted 2,500 plus random connections. When both were laid off, guess who found a new position within 3 weeks? Carlos, because his smaller strategic network included people who actually knew his work and were willing to make referrals. Connection strategy, the secret 555 method. Each week, focus on connecting with 5 peers at your level for genuine relationship building, 5 senior professionals for mentorship and visibility, 5 people in adjacent roles for broader industry perspective. Lisa, an aspiring marketing coordinator, used this approach and built a network of 300 highly relevant connections within 3 months. When a position opened at her dream company, she discovered she already had a second-degree connection to the hiring manager, who agreed to an informational interview that led to her eventual hire. The connection request that actually gets accepted. Forget the default, "I'd like to connect with you on LinkedIn." That's like walking up to someone at a conference and silently handing them your business card. Instead, try this winning formula that yielded Rajesh an 85% acceptance rate. Hi, name. I noticed we both specific common interests/background/industry. I was particularly impressed by specific accomplishment or insight from their profile. I'm currently brief current situation and would value connecting with someone with your expertise in their specialty. Would you be open to connecting? Turning LinkedIn into your personal job search engine. Job alert alchemy, capturing hidden opportunities. Most users create a single job alert with an exact title. Smart job seekers create multiple alerts using these 3 categories. Exact titles, for example, marketing coordinator. Skill-based titles, for example, social media marketing. Alternative titles, for example, digital marketing associate. This strategy helped Darius discover a content ambassador role that required exactly his skills, but would have been missed with his original content marketing alert. The open to work secret toggle. Did you know there are 2 completely different ways to use this feature? Sophia, still employed but job searching, selected visible to recruiters only mode, which added her to recruiter searches without alerting her current employer. Meanwhile, Devon, recently laid off, chose visible to all mode, which added a green frame to his photo, signaling to his network he welcomed referrals. Both approaches work, but they serve different situations. Sophia received discreet recruiter outreach, while Devon's former colleague noticed his status and referred him to an unadvertised position. Application strategy. When to use Easy Apply versus full applications. Think of Easy Apply at LinkedIn as speed dating and full applications as a planned dinner date. Both have their place in your search strategy. Consider how Marcus approached his job search. For highly desired positions at his target companies, he invested in customized applications with tailored resumes. For complementary roles or companies he was less familiar with, he used Easy Apply to cast a wider net efficiently. The result? His 15 customized applications yielded 6 interviews, while his 50 Easy Apply submissions yielded 4, proving quality over quantity for dream jobs, but also demonstrating the value of broader outreach. Making LinkedIn Premium work for you when it makes sense. LinkedIn Premium isn't necessary for everyone, but it can be a game changer in specific situations. Yasmin used her free month of Premium during the final phase of her job search, strategically timing it when she had interviews lined up. The Salary Insights feature helped her discover she was undervaluing herself by nearly 15%, information she used to successfully negotiate an additional $8,000 in her final offer. Meanwhile, Jordan used InMail credits to directly contact a hiring manager after noticing they viewed his profile. His carefully crafted message mentioning specific company initiatives led to a conversation outside the formal application process and ultimately an interview. The takeaway? Premium features are tools, not magic. They work when applied strategically to an already strong profile and clear job search plan. So please, remember, LinkedIn success isn't about overnight viral content or accumulating thousands of connections. It's about consistent strategic presence that positions you as a pioneer. Its transformation could be the difference between months of application silence and your phone ringing with opportunities you never even knew existed. And while this guide provides powerful strategies to transform your LinkedIn presence, we understand that personalized guidance can make all the difference in your career transition. If you're feeling overwhelmed by LinkedIn optimization or want expert feedback on your profile and strategy, we're here to help. Personalized support options. Email consultation. Reach out directly to our team of career experts at hello@culturalinks.co.uk with your specific LinkedIn questions or to schedule a profile review. Join our exclusive Career League. For those serious about accelerating their professional growth, our closed Career League community offers personalized coaching, direct feedback on your LinkedIn profile, weekly group sessions, and a supportive network of fellow professionals. Members consistently report finding opportunities 2 to 3x faster than through self-directed searches. Don't navigate your LinkedIn optimization journey alone. Whether you need a quick profile review or ongoing support, we're committed to helping you unlock the full potential of your professional presence online. Hi guys, I am very pleased to welcome you to Module 7 of your journey to landing your dream job. The phrase, "it's not what you know but who you know," exists for a reason. Studies consistently show that 70 to 85% of jobs are filled through networking rather than traditional applications. For job seekers at any stage, whether you're just starting out, changing careers, returning after a break, or new to a country, developing effective networking skills is perhaps the most valuable tool in your job search toolkit. This module will demystify networking, transforming it from something that might feel uncomfortable or artificial into a natural process of building mutually beneficial professional relationships. You'll learn practical strategies that work regardless of your personality type or background, with a focus on authentic connection rather than transactional interactions. Building meaningful professional connections. Many people misunderstand networking as simply collecting business cards or LinkedIn connections. Real networking is about building genuine relationships based on mutual value and trust. What networking is: building two-way relationships where both people benefit. Connecting with others who share professional interests. Learning from others' experiences and perspectives. Creating a community of support and information sharing. What networking is not: asking strangers for jobs, collecting as many contacts as possible, only reaching out when you need something. Focusing solely on people who can immediately help you. For example, when May moved to a new city, she joined a local professional group for marketing professionals. Rather than immediately asking for job leads, she spent the first few meetings getting to know people, offering help with social media questions, her area of expertise, and learning about the local industry landscape. Within 3 months, she had built genuine relationships that naturally led to job referrals when she was ready to apply. Starting from zero, building your initial network. If you're starting with no professional connections, don't worry. Everyone begins somewhere, and there are many ways to build your initial network. Where to find your first professional connections. 1. Personal contacts. Friends, family, neighbors, and acquaintances can be the foundation of your professional network. How to approach them. I'm exploring opportunities in industry. Do you know anyone working in this field who might be willing to have a brief conversation with me about their experience? This could be very useful for the ones who's just arrived in the country. 2. Educational connections. Current or former classmates, teachers, professors, and alumni from your school. How to approach them. I remember learning about relevant topic in your class. I'm now looking to build a career in this field and would appreciate any advice you might have. 3. Previous coworkers. People you've worked with in any capacity, even in unrelated fields. How to approach them. I've always valued working with you at previous workplace. I'm now exploring opportunities in new field and would love to reconnect. 4. Community connections. People you know through volunteer work, religious organizations, children's schools, or neighborhood activities. How to approach them. I've enjoyed working with you on community activity. I'm currently exploring career opportunities in industry and wondered if you might know anyone in that field. 5. Online communities. Industry-specific forums, Facebook groups, Reddit communities, or other online spaces related to your target field. How to approach them. Participate genuinely in discussions before mentioning, "I'm new to this field and learning as much as I can. Would anyone be open to a brief conversation about your experience in the industry?" The concentric circles approach to network building. Think of your network as expanding circles, with you at the center. This structured approach helps you systematically grow your connections. Circle 1. Direct connections, inner circle. People you already know personally or professionally. Action steps. Make a list of everyone you know who might be able to provide career insights or connections. Include family, friends, former colleagues, classmates, and community connections. Circle 2. Connections of connections. People who know people in your inner circle. Action steps. Ask each person in your inner circle if they know someone in your target field, or target companies, who might be willing to have a brief conversation with you. Circle 3. Strategic new connections. People you don't yet know but want to connect with based on their industry, company, or role. Action steps. Identify events, organizations, or online communities where you can meaningfully connect with these strategic targets. Breaking the ice. Starting conversations with new connections. Many people struggle with initiating conversations, especially in professional contexts. These approaches make it easier to start meaningful dialogue. Conversation starters for professional settings. Shared context approach. Reference something you have in common or the current situation. Examples. What brought you to this event today? I noticed you also work in healthcare. How did you get started in the field? What did you think of the speaker's point about specific topic? Curiosity-based approach. Ask genuine questions about their experience or perspective. Examples. I'm new to this industry and learning as much as I can. What do you find most challenging about your role? I read about the changes happening in this field. How are these affecting your day-to-day work? What skills do you think are becoming most important in this industry? Value-first approach. Offer something helpful before asking for anything. Examples. I just read an article about that issue you mentioned. Would you like me to send you the link? I have some experience with that software. I'd be happy to show you the workaround for that problem. I know someone who might be a great resource for the project you mentioned. Would you like an introduction? Networking for introverts and people with social anxiety. Networking can be especially challenging if you're introverted or experience social anxiety. These strategies make networking more manageable and effective. Introvert-friendly networking strategies. Prepare and research. Knowing what to expect reduces anxiety. Set manageable goals. Start small to build confidence. For example, instead of trying to meet as many people as possible, set a goal of having 2 meaningful conversations at each event. This focused approach reduced an anxiety and actually leads to stronger connections. Use the power of one-on-one. Arrange individual meetings instead of navigating large events. For example, you could invite 1 new professional contact for coffee each week, or fortnightly, allowing for deeper conversations in a less overwhelming environment. Play to your strengths. Use written communication if verbal interactions are challenging. For example, if you feel anxious about spontaneous conversations, please try Excel thoughtful written communication. Build your network primarily through LinkedIn, industry forums, and email exchanges, scheduling calls only after establishing a written rapport. Use active listening as your superpower. Introverts often excel at deep listening, which people appreciate. Find a networking buddy. Partner with someone who complements your style. For example, if you have one, invite your more extroverted classmate attended events together. Your classmate could help initiate conversations, while you would contribute thoughtful questions once discussions were underway. Recovery time. Schedule downtime after networking activities. Cross-cultural networking considerations. Networking norms vary significantly across cultures. Understanding these differences is especially important if you're networking in a culture different from your own. Informational interviewing techniques. What is an informational interview? An informational interview is a conversation where you meet with someone working in a field, role, or company you're interested in to gather insights. Unlike a job interview, you're the one asking the questions, and the primary purpose is learning rather than getting hired. Benefits of informational interviews. Gain insider knowledge about an industry or role. Learn about career paths you may not have considered. Build connections with working professionals. Practice professional conversation skills. Get advice tailored to your specific situation. Potentially hear about unadvertised opportunities. In-person networking events and conferences. Types of networking events and their benefits. Different types of professional gatherings offer unique networking opportunities. Understanding these differences helps you choose events that align with your goals. Industry conferences, large events with presentations, exhibitions, and structured networking. Best for getting a broad overview of an industry, learning about trends, and making multiple connections. Professional association meetings, regular gatherings of people in the same profession or industry. Best 4. Meeting local professionals, finding mentors, and learning specific industry practices. Workshops and training sessions, skills-focused events that attract professionally motivated attendees. Best 4. Meeting people who share specific professional interests while developing your skills. Networking mixers, events specifically designed for making connections. Best 4. Practicing networking skills and making initial connections in a new field. Industry meetups, casual, often topic-focused gatherings organized around specific industries or technologies. Best 4. Making connections in a relaxed environment and learning about the day-to-day realities of a field. Company open houses or information sessions, events where organizations invite potential candidates to learn about their work. Best 4. Making connections at specific target companies and learning about their culture. Conference-specific networking strategies. Conferences offer unique networking opportunities beyond those found at smaller events. These strategies help you maximize the professional connections you make at larger industry gatherings. Session-based networking. Use presentations and workshops as connection points. Speaker connections. Engage with presenters appropriately. For example, rather than trying to network immediately after a popular speaker's presentation, when they were surrounded by people, you could send a thoughtful LinkedIn connection request, mentioning a specific point from their talk, and asking if they would be open to a brief follow-up question. Social events and receptions. Take advantage of less formal conference components. Meal-based networking. Use breakfast and lunch opportunities strategically. Exhibitor conversations. Build connections with industry vendors and their representatives. Online conference groups. Use conference apps, hashtags, and groups to extend networking opportunities. The art of following up and maintaining relationships. Following up effectively transforms brief interactions into meaningful professional relationships. Without proper follow-up, networking efforts often yield little long-term value. When to follow up? Within 24 to 48 hours after meeting someone new. When you have something relevant to share. After significant career developments. Periodically to maintain the relationship, every 3 to 6 months. When you've applied their advice or used a resource they suggested. Creating effective follow-up messages. The quality of your follow-up significantly impacts whether a connection develops into a meaningful relationship. Follow-up message formula. 1. Reference your meeting, when and where you met. 2. Recall a specific conversation point, showing you were engaged. 3. Provide something of value. Article, resource, introduction, etc. 4. Suggest a next step, if appropriate. 5. Express appreciation. Example follow-up email after an event. Subject. Great meeting you at the Downtown Business Mixer. Hello, Robert. It was a pleasure meeting you at the Downtown Business Mixer on Thursday. I particularly enjoyed our conversation about the challenges of implementing sustainable practices in retail operations. During our talk, you mentioned your interest in eco-friendly packaging alternatives. I recently came across this article about innovative packaging solutions that have worked well for small retailers. Link. I thought you might find it useful for your upcoming store renovation. Can you be interested in hearing more about your sustainability initiatives as they develop? Would you be open to grabbing coffee sometime in the next few weeks? Thank you again for sharing your insights and experience. Best regards, Sarah Chen. And just to remind you, if you need more help, support, or guidance, please do not hesitate to get back to us via our email hello@culturalinks.co.uk, or just simply check our website out, culturalinks.co.uk. Join our exclusive Career League. For those serious about accelerating their professional growth, our closed Career League community offers personalized coaching, direct feedback on your LinkedIn profile, weekly group sessions, and a supportive network of fellow professionals. Members consistently report finding opportunities 2 to 3x faster than through self-directed searches. And here we are, done for this module. I hope you got some useful ideas and are happy to implement them immediately, so good luck with that, and see you in the next module. Job search platforms and tools. Your digital path to employment. Imagine walking into a room with thousands of job openings perfectly displayed and organized, with a personal assistant ready to notify you whenever something matching your skills appears. This isn't fantasy, it's the reality of today's online job search platforms when you know how to use them effectively. For many people returning to the workforce, or searching for their first professional role, the sheer number of job sites and tools can feel overwhelming. You might wonder, which sites should I use? How do I avoid wasting time? How do I find opportunities that match my situation? This module will turn that confusion into confidence by guiding you through the modern job search landscape in simple, practical terms. Whether you've been out of work for some time or are just beginning your career journey, these strategies will help you navigate job platforms efficiently and effectively. So we'll start with types of job platforms you should know about. The online job market isn't just one place, it's an ecosystem of different platforms, each with unique strengths. Let's explore the main types. General job boards. These are the large platforms that host positions across many industries and levels. Indeed.com, the largest aggregator that pulls listings from company websites and other sources. Findajob.gov.uk, the largest government job search engine, recommended by the job centres. Monster, one of the oldest online job boards with millions of listings. LinkedIn Jobs, connected to the professional networking site. Reed, particularly strong in the UK market. Niche job boards. These focus on specific industries or job types. Health Jobs UK, specializes in healthcare positions. CW Jobs, focused on technology roles. Caterer.com, for hospitality positions. Charity Job, for non-profit and charity sector. Company career pages. Many larger organizations post openings directly on their websites, sometimes before they appear elsewhere. Government job portals for public sector positions. Civil service jobs, for UK government positions. NHS Jobs, for National Health Service roles. Recruitment agency websites. Many agencies list their current openings online. But my advice to you is, when you go to search the recruitment agencies, please make sure you are not just registering with everything possible. You want to register with agencies that primarily focused on the sector you have interest in. Start with local ones and then move nationwide. Part 1. Choosing your primary platforms. The secret isn't trying to use all platforms. It's selecting the 3 to 5 most relevant ones for your situation. Here's how to choose. 1. 1 or 2 major general job boards, like Indeed or Reed. 2. 1 or 2 industry-specific sites relevant to your field. 3. Company career pages for 5 to 10 organizations you'd love to work for. For example, if you're looking for administrative work after a career break, your platform mix might include Indeed, General Board. Find a Job, General Board. Office Team, specialized in administrative roles. Career pages for local large employers. This focused approach prevents the overwhelm that comes from trying to monitor too many sites, while ensuring you don't miss relevant opportunities. Part 2. Creating effective profiles on job platforms. Most job platforms allow you to create a profile that employers can view. Think of this as a simplified version of your CV that's always working for you. Key elements of a strong job site profile. Professional headline, similar to your LinkedIn headline. Clear, specific, and showing your professional identity. Complete work history. Include all relevant positions with accomplishment-focused descriptions. Skills section. List both technical and soft skills relevant to your target roles. Availability information. When you can start working. Location preferences, including remote or hybrid options if applicable. CV upload. Most sites allow you to upload your full CV. But as you remember, we can't just send your general CV and respond to the adverts. We have to tailor it for each job advertised. Profile privacy considerations. If you're currently employed or have specific privacy concerns, most platforms offer privacy settings. Public profile. Visible to all employers, maximizes opportunities but offers less privacy. Limited visibility, only visible to employers when you apply. Anonymous mode. Some sites allow you to hide your name and current employer. For example, one of our participants, who was employed but seeking a change, used Indeed's settings to hide their profile from their current employer's domain, while keeping it visible to other companies. Part 3. Creating effective search queries. The way you search directly affects the quality of results you'll find. Think of job searching like using a fishing net. Your goal is to make the net the right size to catch what you want without being overwhelmed. Basic search formula, job title plus location. Locate. Advanced search techniques. Use quotation marks for exact phrases, customer service representative. Try multiple job title variations. Administrative assistant, OR, office administrator. Use minus signs to exclude irrelevant results. Sales associate, commission only. Include key skills relevant to your background. Receptionist, Microsoft Office. Filtering for success. Most job sites offer filtering options that can save you hours of scrolling. Date posted. Focus on the most recent, last 7 to 14 days, for best results. Experience level. Filter for entry, mid, or senior level positions. Salary range. Set minimum thresholds to avoid very low-paying positions. Type of employment. Full-time, part-time, contract, temporary, remote, on-site options. Especially important in the post-pandemic workplace. Part 4. Setting up job alerts. Your 24/7 job search assistant. Job alerts are notifications that automatically inform you when new positions matching your criteria appear. They essentially conduct your job search while you sleep, ensuring you're among the first to know about new opportunities. Studies show that applications submitted within the first 48 hours of a job posting receive significantly more attention from employers. Alerts help you be part of this early applicant pool, creating effective job alerts. On most platforms, you can save your searches as alerts that will notify you by email or app notification when matching jobs appear. Alert setup strategy. 1. Create multiple alerts with different criteria, rather than one broad alert. 2. Name your alerts clearly so you can manage them, e.g., admin jobs, London, or part-time retail, Birmingham. 3. Set frequency preferences. Daily digest often works better than immediate notifications to avoid alert fatigue. Managing alert overwhelm. If you start receiving too many irrelevant notifications, review and refine your search terms. Add additional filters to your saved searches. Reduce the geographic range if you're getting too many results. Use exclusion terms for positions you're consistently seeing but aren't interested in. Remember, the goal is quality over quantity. 5 relevant job notifications daily are more valuable than 50 mostly irrelevant ones. Part 5. Using AI and smart tools to enhance your search. Job matching technology. Many platforms now use artificial intelligence to match your profile and CV with relevant positions. To maximize these matching systems, complete your profile 100% on each platform. Update your profile regularly with new skills or experiences. Use industry-standard job titles and skills terminology. Respond to, "Would you be interested in this position?" queries when platforms ask. Browser extensions and search tools. Here are some free browser extensions can supercharge your job search. JobScan helps optimize your CV for specific job descriptions. Job Search Analyzer shows which skills and keywords are trending in your target roles. Indeed Job Spotter alerts you to jobs in your local area. Mobile job search apps. Don't underestimate the power of job search apps. They allow you to search while commuting or during spare moments. Respond quickly to new postings. Save interesting positions to apply to later from your computer. Some apps even allow quick applications directly from your phone. Part 6. Industry-specific platforms and strategies. Every industry has its own specialized job boards and resources that often list positions you won't find on general sites. Healthcare and social care. NHS Jobs, Health Jobs UK, Care Jobs Technology and IT, CW Jobs, Stack Overflow Jobs, GitHub Jobs, Education. eTeach, Education Jobs, FE Jobs, Hospitality and Retail. Caterer, Retail Choice, Hospitality Jobs, UK. Creative Industries, Creative Pool. The Dots, Arts Jobs, Industry Forums and Communities. Beyond formal job boards, many industries have online communities where opportunities are shared. Facebook groups for local job openings, Reddit subreddits for specific industries, professional association websites and newsletters, local community groups. These informal channels often feature opportunities before they reach major job sites. Part 7. Creating a sustainable job search routine. Without a system, job searching quickly becomes chaotic and demoralizing. Create a simple tracking system. By the way, you can find a free sample to download from our website, Career Club project page. Job application tracker elements. Job title and company. Where you found the listing. Date applied. Application materials submitted. Follow-up actions and dates. Contact person, if available. Application status. You can use a simple spreadsheet, a note-taking app, or even a dedicated job search tracking tool like Hunter or Teal. Creating a sustainable schedule. Job searching can quickly become overwhelming or inconsistent. Create a schedule that keeps you productive without burning out. Sample weekly schedule. Monday, search new listings and set up refine alerts. Tuesday, focus on applications for most promising positions. Wednesday, research target companies and customize applications. Thursday, networking and skill development. Friday, follow up on previous applications and plan for next week. Consistency beats intensity. Applying to 3 to 5 well-matched positions daily with customized applications is more effective than sending 30 generic applications in one marathon session. Part 8. Recognizing when you need help. Job searching can be isolating and challenging, especially during extended periods of unemployment. Signs you might benefit from additional support include applying to numerous positions without getting interviews, feeling overwhelmed by the technology or process, struggling to identify suitable roles for your background, losing motivation, or feeling increasing anxiety about your search. Remember, seeking help isn't a sign of weakness, it's a strategic decision to improve your results. Professional support options at Cultural Links. At Cultural Links, we understand that sometimes you need more than just information. You need personalized guidance and support. Our services are specifically designed to help people who have been out of work for extended periods or are new to the professional job market. Profile Setup Service. Our experts can set up your profiles on key job platforms, optimizing them for the specific algorithms and requirements of each site. Many clients find this service pays for itself through the increased number of recruiter contacts and relevant matches they receive. Job search management. For those who prefer to focus their energy on preparing for interviews rather than the search process itself, our team can conduct your job search, identify suitable positions, and prepare customized applications on your behalf. The Career League, our premium offering, combines group coaching, individual support, and a community of peers all working toward career success. Members receive weekly group coaching sessions on specific job search topics, personal CV and application reviews, mock interviews with detailed feedback, priority access to our employer network, a supportive community of fellow job seekers. The Career League is particularly valuable for those feeling isolated or needing accountability during their job search journey. Whether you choose to apply the strategies in this module independently or with our support, remember that your job search is not just about finding any job, it's about finding the right opportunity for your skills, experience, and life circumstances. Well, and as you move forward from this module, 1. Select your 3 to 5 primary job platforms based on your target industry and location. 2. Set up complete profiles on each platform. 3. Create effective search terms and alerts to automate your search. 4. Implement a consistent application schedule and tracking system. 5. Consider whether additional support would accelerate your success. Your perfect job opportunity is out there, and with these strategies, you're now equipped to find it efficiently and effectively. Alternative work arrangements. Finding your path in today's flexible job market. The world of work has transformed dramatically in recent years, especially after COVID times. The traditional 9-to-5 office job with a single employer for life is no longer the only path to a fulfilling career. Alternative work arrangements have created exciting new possibilities that offer flexibility, autonomy, and opportunities to match your skills and lifestyle needs. This module will guide you through various alternative work options that might be perfect for your situation, especially if you're returning to the workforce after a gap or just beginning your career journey. We'll explore everything from freelancing to entrepreneurship, with practical strategies to help you succeed in each path. So, let's get started from freelancing and gig economy opportunities. Freelancing means offering your skills and services to multiple clients on a project basis, rather than working as an employee for a single company. The gig economy has made this easier than ever through digital platforms that connect workers with those who need their services. As a freelancer, you're essentially running a one-person business. You market your services to potential clients. Set your own rates, hourly per project or retainer. Manage your own schedule and workload. Handle your own taxes and benefits. Popular freelancing fields in today's labor market. Freelancing opportunities exist in nearly every industry. Some of the most accessible include writing and content creation, blog posts, articles, social media content, design, graphic design, website design, logo creation, administrative support, virtual assistants, data entry, customer service, Technical services, web development, programming, IT support, creative services, photography, video editing, voiceover work. Getting started as a freelancer. 1. Identify your marketable skills. What can you offer that others need? 2. Create a simple portfolio, even a basic website or social media page showing examples of your work. 3. Start with platforms. Websites like Upwork, Fiverr, or TaskRabbit can help you find your first clients. 4. Begin with small projects. Build confidence and references before taking on larger commitments. Contract and project-based work. Contract work offers a middle ground between traditional employment and freelancing. These positions have a defined time frame, but often provide more structure than freelancing. Key features of contract work: fixed duration, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, etc. Often full-time hours during the contract period. May include some benefits depending on the company. Possibility of conversion to permanent employment in some cases. Finding contract opportunities. Staffing agencies, specializing in temporary placements. Job boards with contract or temporary filters. Company websites often have a separate section for contract roles. Networking with former colleagues and industry connections. Benefits of contract work. Gain experience in new industries or roles. Fill gaps in your employment history. Build your professional network. Try before you buy. Experience a company before committing long-term. Remote work strategies. Remote work allows you to perform your job from home or any location outside a traditional office. This arrangement has exploded in popularity and availability. Types of remote work. Fully remote. The entire job is performed away from a company office. Hybrid. Some days in office, some days remote. Remote first. Companies built entirely around distributed teams. Finding remote opportunities. Job boards specializing in remote work. FlexJobs, remote.co, we work remotely. Filter for remote on traditional job boards. Check company websites for remote positions. Network in online communities focused on remote work. Setting yourself up for remote success. 1. Create a dedicated workspace. Even a corner of a room can become your office. 2. Ensure reliable technology, stable internet connection and necessary devices. 3. Develop strong communication skills. Being clear and responsive is essential. 4. Establish a routine. Set working hours and breaks to maintain productivity. 5. Learn remote collaboration tools. Become comfortable with Zoom, Slack, Microsoft Teams, etc. Entrepreneurship and self-employment options. Starting your own business represents the ultimate form of work flexibility and autonomy, though it also requires significant initiative and resilience. Types of small businesses to consider. Service-based business, offering skills directly to customers, cleaning service, tutoring, consulting. Product-based business, creating and selling physical or digital products. Reselling business, buying products wholesale and reselling them. Franchise opportunities, operating a business using an established brand and system. Here are some micro-business ideas with low startup costs. Personal services, house cleaning, pet sitting, lawn care, errand running. Online reselling, selling items on eBay, Amazon, or specialty marketplaces. Crafts and handmade items, creating and selling through platforms like Etsy. Food-based business, home baking, meal prep services, check local regulations. Teaching, tutoring, offering lessons in subjects you know well. How our services can support your journey. While exploring alternative work arrangements can be exciting, navigating these options alone can sometimes feel overwhelming. That's why we've developed comprehensive support services to guide you at every step. Career League Program. Our flagship Career League program provides both group coaching and individual support to help you identify which alternative work path best matches your skills and circumstances. Develop an actionable plan with clear milestones. Build essential skills through targeted workshops and resources. Connect with others on similar journeys for mutual support and networking. Members of our Career League consistently report finding suitable work 40% faster than those navigating the process alone. Custom job search services. For those who prefer a more hands-on approach, our team can help. Create professional profiles for freelancing platforms. Prepare compelling applications for contract positions. Set up remote work technology and systems. Develop business plans and startup strategies. One-on-one coaching. Our professional career coaches provide personalized guidance to help you overcome specific challenges in your job search. Build confidence after a long employment gap. Navigate work-life balance in flexible arrangements. Plan long-term career growth beyond your initial return to work. If any of these services interest you, please speak with your course facilitator about scheduling a complimentary consultation. During this 30-minute session, we'll discuss your specific situation and recommend the most suitable support options. Remember, while many succeed in alternative work arrangements on their own, having professional guidance can significantly reduce the learning curve and help you avoid common pitfalls. In our next session, we'll discuss practical strategies for marketing yourself effectively in these non-traditional work environments, including building an online presence and creating compelling proposals or applications. Module 10, Interview Preparation, Mastering the Art of Job Interviews. The job interview stands as a pivotal moment in your career journey. It's where preparation meets opportunity. Whether you're returning to the workforce after a significant break or entering it for the first time, interviews can feel overwhelming. Yet with proper preparation and practice, you can transform this challenge into a chance to showcase your unique value and potential. This module demystifies the interview process, equipping you with practical strategies to present yourself confidently and authentically. We'll explore various interview formats, help you craft compelling stories, prepare for different question types, provide mock interview opportunities, and offer guidance on handling rejection constructively. Remember that successful interviewing is a learnable skill. Like any other skill, it improves with understanding, practice, and reflection. Let's begin this journey together. Different interview formats and what to expect. Highly likely the initial contact will be via the phone. And using this opportunity, lots of recruiters ask if you have a few minutes to speak, and this will turn into a small 5 to 10 minutes pre-interview. This means you must be ready always. But please remember, if you have been caught unexpectedly, and if you clearly understand you won't be able to answer questions, just apologize politely and agree about another day and time to have a call. Otherwise you will receive an email invitation with a date, time and place, which can by physical one or online one. Whether phone pre-interview happens or not, the next step will be traditional one-on-one interview. Format: a conversation between you and one interviewer, sometimes can be two, usually a hiring manager or a potential supervisor. What to expect: usually lasts 30 to 60 minutes. Questions about your background, skills and fit for the role. Often includes time for you to ask questions about the position and company. Preparation tips: research your interviewer on LinkedIn if possible. Bring a copy of your resume and any additional materials. Prepare questions that demonstrate your interest in the role. Panel interviews. Format: multiple interviewers, often 2 to 5 people, asking questions in turn. What to expect: longer duration, typically 45 to 90 minutes. Questions from different perspectives: technical, managerial, HR. Multiple note takers observing your responses. Preparation tips: make eye contact with the person asking the question, but address the entire panel in your response. Ask for each interviewer's name and role at the beginning if they don't introduce themselves. Bring extra copies of your resume for everyone. Group interviews. Format: multiple candidates interviewed simultaneously by one or more interviewers. What to expect: group discussions or activities to assess teamwork. Observation of how you interact with others. Finding the balance between standing out and working collaboratively. Preparation tips: practice active listening and building on others' ideas. Find opportunities to demonstrate leadership without dominating. Be respectful of other candidates while still ensuring your voice is heard. Virtual interviews. Format: remote interviews conducted via video platforms like Zoom, Microsoft Teams, or Google Meet. What to expect: technology checks before or at the start. Similar questions to in-person interviews. Possible technical challenges requiring flexibility. Preparation tips: test your equipment and internet connection beforehand. Choose a quiet location with good lighting and a neutral background. Position your camera at eye level and dress professionally, including bottoms. Have a backup plan if technology fails. Phone number to call, etc. Phone interviews. Format: initial screening or full interviews conducted exclusively by phone. What to expect: focus on verbal communication without visual cues. Often used as a screening tool before in-person interviews. Typically shorter than in-person interviews, 15 to 30 minutes. Preparation tips: have your resume and notes visible during the call. Stand up while talking to project energy and confidence in your voice. Smile while speaking, it affects your voice tone. Use a quiet location with reliable reception. Technical interviews. Format. Focused on assessing specific technical skills through tests, demonstrations, or problem-solving exercises. What to expect. Practical demonstrations of your technical abilities. Problem-solving scenarios related to the job. Possible hands-on tests or coding exercises. Preparation tips. Review fundamental concepts in your technical field. Practice explaining your problem-solving process aloud. Ask clarifying questions when faced with technical problems. Assessment center interviews. Format. Extended evaluation process that may include multiple interviews, group exercises, role-playing scenarios, and aptitude tests. What to expect. Half-day or full-day commitment. Various exercises designed to test different competencies. Observation by multiple evaluators throughout. Preparation tips. Rest well before the day. Bring snacks and water to maintain energy. Consider each activity a fresh opportunity, regardless of how you performed in previous exercises. The importance of self-presentation. Your self-presentation encompasses everything from your appearance to your demeanor, and it creates a powerful first impression that can significantly influence hiring decisions. Research shows that interviewers often make initial judgments within the first 7 to 30 seconds of meeting a candidate, impressions that can be difficult to change later in the interview. Let's imagine someone has an interview for an administrative role. After a few welcoming and general phrases, the interviewers will definitely ask you, "Tell us about yourself." And your response is more than just an introduction. It's your first opportunity to showcase your professionalism, experience, and value. This is your chance to highlight your organizational skills, problem-solving abilities, and adaptability in a fast-paced environment. A well-crafted self-introduction should demonstrate efficiency, show how you keep things running seamlessly, highlight key skills, mention multitasking, communication, and tech proficiency, reflect professionalism. A concise, structured answer leaves a lasting impression. Example for an administrator role. Weak answer. I've worked as an admin for a few years. I handle emails, scheduling, and some office tasks. Strong answer. With over 5 years of experience as an administrative professional, I specialize in streamlining office operations to enhance productivity. My expertise includes managing complex calendars, coordinating meetings, and handling confidential communications for senior leadership. I'm proficient in tools like Microsoft Office, Slack, and QuickBooks, and I take pride in being the go-to problem solver in fast-paced environments. Outside of work, I enjoy organizing community volunteer initiatives, which aligns with my passion for structured, impactful work. Start with experience. Years, industry, key responsibilities. Highlight achievements, e.g., improved processes, supported executives. Show personality. Briefly mention a relevant interest or soft skill. Guidelines for professional appearance. Clothing choices. Research the company culture. Dress slightly more formally than the everyday attire at the company. General guidelines by company type. Corporate traditional. Business suits in conservative colors. Navy, gray, black. Business casual environments. Slacks or skirt with a button-down shirt or blouse. Optional blazer. Creative industries. More flexibility in style and color while maintaining professionalism. Service, retail, clean, pressed business casual attire that allows comfortable movement. Example scenario. Eleanor researched her target company by checking their social media accounts, and noticed that while employees dressed casually in jeans and t-shirts, the leadership team wore business casual attire. For her interview, she chose tailored black pants, a light blue blouse, and a structured blazer. Professional but not overly formal. Grooming and accessories. Hair. Clean, neat and styled conservatively. Facial hair. Well-groomed and maintained. Makeup. If worn, subtle and professional. Fragrances. Light or none at all. Many workplaces are fragrance-free. Jewelry. Minimal and understated. Nails. Clean and neatly trimmed. Example scenario. Jamal, who normally wore several bracelets and a nose ring, decided to remove the nose ring and wear just one simple bracelet for his bank interview. This adjustment maintained his personal style while adapting to the more conservative environment. Physical preparation. 1. Get adequate rest. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep the night before. 2. Stay hydrated. Drink plenty of water in the days leading up to the interview. 3. Eat appropriately. Have a moderate protein-rich meal 1 to 2 hours before the interview. 4. Manage anxiety. Practice deep breathing or brief meditation before arriving. 5. Allow extra time. Arrive 10 to 15 minutes early to compose yourself. Mastering nonverbal communication. Body language essentials. Posture. Sit and stand with your back straight but not rigid. Handshake. Firm, dry and brief with good eye contact, when culturally appropriate. Eye contact. Steady but natural. 70 to 80% of the time is a good target. Facial expressions. Pleasant and engaged with appropriate smiling. Hand gestures. Natural but controlled to emphasize points. Body position. Slightly forward-leaning to show interest. Practice exercise. Record yourself answering practice questions and review your body language. Look for these common issues. Excessive fidgeting. Crossed arms can appear defensive. Lack of eye contact. Nervous habits. Hair touching, pen clicking. Rigid or slouched posture. Voice and speech patterns. Volume. Clear and audible without being too loud. Pace. Moderate, not rushed or too slow. Tone. Varied and enthusiastic. Fillers. Minimize, like, you know. Breathing. Regular and controlled. Practice technique. Read a news article aloud while recording yourself. Listen for speaking pace, clarity, and filler words. Practice pausing briefly, instead of using filler words when you need a moment to think. Digital presentation for virtual interviews. Camera placement. At eye level, showing head and shoulders. Lighting. Positioned in front of you, not behind. Background. Clean, uncluttered and professional. Technical setup. Test microphone, camera and internet connection 24 hours in advance, and again 30 minutes before. Eye contact. Look at the camera, not the screen, when speaking. Digital presence. Close unnecessary applications to prevent notifications. Example setup. Well-created professional backdrop for her virtual interview, by positioning her desk facing a clean wall, hanging a simple piece of artwork, and placing a small plant in view. She set up a lamp behind her laptop to illuminate her face evenly, and used books to raise her laptop to eye level. Self-presentation checklist. 24 hours before. Outfit selected, cleaned and pressed. Shoes polished. Personal grooming plan established. Accessories chosen and minimized. Portfolio/resume copies prepared. Transportation arranged. Route mapped with buffer time included. Research on company and role reviewed. Practice questions rehearsed. Good night's sleep planned. Preparing compelling stories and examples. Stories are powerful tools in interviews. They transform abstract claims like, "I am a good problem solver," into concrete evidence through specific examples. The STAR method provides a framework for structuring these stories effectively. The STAR method explained. S. Situation. Set the context by describing the circumstance or challenge you faced. T. Task. Explain what you were responsible for in this situation. A. Action. Detail the specific steps you took to address the task. R. Result. Share the outcomes of your actions, using specific metrics when possible. How to develop your story bank. 1. Identify key competencies. Review the job description to identify 5 to 7 skills or qualities most important for the role. 2. Brainstorm experiences. For each competency, list 2 to 3 situations from your work history, education, volunteer work, or personal life that demonstrate this skill. 3. Structure each story. Develop each experience into a STAR-formatted story, keeping it concise, 60 to 90 seconds. 4. Practice delivery. Rehearse telling these stories aloud until they flow naturally without sounding memorized. 5. Adapt as needed. Be prepared to adjust your stories to address the specific question asked. Example: stories for common competencies. Problem-solving example. Situation: when I was volunteering at the community food bank, we experienced a 30% increase in families needing assistance during the economic downturn. Task: as the volunteer coordinator, I needed to figure out how to serve more people with the same resources. Action: I analyzed our distribution process and identified bottlenecks. Then I reorganized our volunteer stations to create an assembly line approach and created simple training materials for new volunteers. Result: we reduced wait times by 40% and were able to serve all families without requiring additional resources or funding. The system was so effective that the food bank continues to use it 3 years later. Teamwork example. Situation: during my time as a stay-at-home parent, I joined a neighborhood committee planning our community's annual festival. Task: 6 weeks before the event, 2 key committee members had to withdraw due to family emergencies, leaving us short-staffed for our biggest fundraiser of the year. Action: I volunteered to take on vendor coordination, created a detailed spreadsheet to track all participants, and recruited 3 additional neighbors to help with specific tasks. Result: the festival proceeded smoothly with a record 45 vendors participating. We raised $3,500 for the community playground, exceeding our goal by 15%. Adaptability example. Situation: in my previous retail position, our store implemented a completely new inventory management system with only 1 week's notice. Task: as someone with limited technical experience, I needed to learn the system quickly while still maintaining customer service standards. Action: I arrived early each day to practice on the system, created a quick reference guide of common functions for myself, and partnered with a more tech-savvy colleague for mutual support. Result: within 2 weeks, I was proficient enough to help train other team members. My manager recognized my efforts by asking me to help develop training materials for new hires. Tailoring stories to different roles. Always customize your examples to emphasize aspects most relevant to the position. For customer service roles, highlight patience, communication, and problem resolution. For administrative positions, emphasize organization, attention to detail, and efficiency. For leadership roles, focus on initiative, decision-making, and team motivation. For technical positions, showcase analytical thinking, learning ability, and technical problem-solving, making your stories believable and impactful. 1. Include specific details, mention real names, numbers, and concrete facts that make your story credible. 2. Acknowledge challenges. Don't portray every situation as perfectly handled. Mention obstacles you overcame. 3. Show self-awareness. Include brief reflections on what you learned or would do differently now. 4. Keep it relevant. Ensure your story clearly demonstrates the competency being assessed. 5. Stay humble. Balance confidence with humility by acknowledging team contributions. Understanding interview structure. Most formal interviews follow a predictable structure. Understanding this framework helps you navigate the conversation more confidently and prepare for each phase effectively. The typical interview flow. 1. Opening and small talk, 2 to 5 minutes. Greetings and introductions. Brief friendly conversation to establish rapport. Transition to the formal interview. 2. Overview from the interviewer, 3 to 5 minutes. Brief description of the company and position. Explanation of the interview format and timeline. Any housekeeping items or logistics. 3. Questions about your background, 10 to 15 minutes. Review of your experience, education, and skills. Questions about your resume and application materials. Discussion of your career path and decisions. 4. Behavioral and situational questions. 15 to 25 minutes. Detailed questions about past experiences. Hypothetical scenarios related to the position. Specific examples of relevant skills and competencies. 5. Job-specific questions. 10 to 15 minutes. Technical questions related to the role. Assessment of your knowledge and capabilities. Discussion of your approach to typical responsibilities. 6. Your questions for the interviewer. 5 to 10 minutes. Opportunity for you to ask prepared questions. Clarification on aspects of the role or company. Demonstration of your interest and engagement. 7. Closing information. 3 to 5 minutes. Timeline for the hiring decision. Next steps in the process. Contact information for follow-up. Preparing for each phase. For the opening. Prepare a concise professional introduction, 30 to 60 seconds. Research common interests based on the company and interviewer. Practice friendly but professional small talk. For the background discussion, review your resume thoroughly. Prepare explanations for career transitions or gaps. Connect your background directly to the position requirements. For the behavioral/situational segment, prepare your star stories for common scenarios. Practice adapting them to different types of questions. Include quantifiable results whenever possible. For job-specific questions, review the job description thoroughly. Refresh your knowledge of technical terms and procedures. Prepare examples of relevant projects or experiences. For your question segment, Prepare 5 to 7 thoughtful questions. You'll likely ask 2 to 3. Include questions about the role, team, and company culture. Avoid questions about salary and benefits in the first interview. For the closing, prepare a brief statement of continued interest. Plan how you'll ask about next steps if not mentioned. Have your contact information ready to provide again. Technical, behavioral, and situational questions. Interviews typically include a mix of question types, each designed to evaluate different aspects of your suitability for the role. Understanding these categories helps you prepare more effectively. Behavioral questions. These questions ask about past experiences to predict future behavior, typically beginning with phrases like, "Tell me about a time when," or "Describe a situation where." Common behavioral questions. Tell me about a time you faced a difficult challenge at work. Describe a situation where you had to work with a difficult person. Give an example of when you showed leadership. Tell me about a mistake you made and how you handled it. Response strategy. Use the STAR method to structure your answer. Choose relevant examples that showcase your strengths. Be honest about challenges and what you learned. Keep responses to 1 to 2 minutes. Example response. Question. Tell me about a time when you had to meet a tight deadline. Response. When I was volunteering at the community center, we received unexpected funding that needed to be allocated within 2 weeks or we'd lose it. As the program coordinator, I quickly organized a meeting with stakeholders to identify priorities. I created a spreadsheet to track all potential uses and their impacts, then facilitated a decision-making session. I stayed late for 3 evenings to complete the necessary paperwork, collaborated with the finance team to ensure compliance, and submitted the allocation plan 2 days before the deadline. The funding secured 3 new programs serving over 200 additional community members annually. Situational questions. These are hypothetical scenarios asking how you would handle a specific situation, often beginning with, "What would you do if?" or "How would you handle?" Common situational questions. How would you handle an angry customer? What would you do if you disagree with your supervisor's decision? How would you prioritize multiple urgent tasks? What would you do if a team member wasn't contributing their fair share? Response strategy. Describe your thought process and approach. Explain the principles guiding your decisions. Outline steps you would take in sequence. If possible, reference similar real situations you've handled. Example response. Question. How would you handle a situation where you're given a deadline you think is impossible to meet? Response. First, I'd analyze exactly what's making the deadline seem impossible, whether it's the scope, resources, or dependencies. Then, I'd schedule a conversation with my manager to discuss my concerns constructively, bringing potential solutions rather than just problems. I'd present options such as adjusting the scope, securing additional resources, or proposing a phased delivery approach. If the deadline truly couldn't be changed, I'd work with the team to prioritize the most critical elements and develop a plan for completing the essential components on time. This approach worked well in my volunteer role planning community events, where we often had immovable dates but flexible scope. Technical questions. These assess your knowledge and skills specific to the role, from computer proficiency to specialized knowledge in your field. Common technical question areas. Software and tools relevant to the position. Industry-specific processes and terminology. Problem-solving methods in your field. Technical standards and best practices. Response strategy. Explain your reasoning, not just the answer. If you don't know something, describe how you would find out. Use relevant terminology to demonstrate knowledge. Connect technical concepts to practical applications. Example response. Question. How would you create a budget tracking spreadsheet for a small department? Response. I would begin by setting up a clear structure with income and expense categories across the top and months down the side. I'd include formulas to automatically calculate totals and remaining budget for each category. For usability, I'd add conditional formatting to highlight over-budget areas in red and under-budget in green. Based on my experience managing my household budget, I'd also create a separate dashboard sheet that pulls key information using VLOOKUP functions and displays simple charts showing spending trends. I'd protect formula cells to prevent accidental changes and include a notes column for explaining unusual expenses. Questions about employment gaps. These are particularly relevant for those returning to the workforce after extended periods away. Common gap questions. I notice there's a gap in your employment history. Can you tell me about that? What have you been doing since your last position? How have you kept your skills current during your time away from the workforce? Response strategy. Be honest but brief about the reason for the gap. Focus on productive activities during this time. Highlight transferable skills developed. Express enthusiasm about returning to work. Example response. Question. There's a 5-year gap in your resume. What were you doing during this time? Response. I took a planned break from the workforce to be the primary caregiver for my young children. During this time, I maintained my professional skills by taking 3 online courses in digital marketing. I also served as the communications coordinator for my neighborhood association, managing their social media presence and increasing event attendance by 35%. These experiences actually strengthened my organizational and communication abilities, which I'm excited to bring back to a professional setting. Common general interview questions and suggested answers. 1. Tell me about yourself. As we discussed at the beginning of this module, this is often the opening question and sets the tone for the interview. Focus on your professional background, key achievements, and connection to the role. Sample answer framework. I'm a professional with X years/experiences in relevant fields. My expertise includes 2 to 3 key skills relevant to the job. In my recent role/education/volunteer work, I a significant achievement. What particularly draws me to this role at company is specific connection between your background and the position. Example. I'm a customer service professional with over 5 years of experience in retail and hospitality environments. My expertise includes conflict resolution, process improvement, and team training. In my most recent role as a shift supervisor at Riverdale Hotel, I implemented a new guest feedback system that improved our satisfaction ratings by 28%. What particularly draws me to this customer service role at Tech Support Inc. is the opportunity to apply these skills in a more technical environment, which aligns perfectly with my recent IT support certification. 2. Why do you want to work here? This question tests whether you've researched the company and thought about how you fit into their needs and culture. Sample answer framework. I'm attracted to company because of specific aspects of the company that appeal to you. Your product/service/mission particularly resonates with me because personal connection. I believe my skills in relevant skills would allow me to contribute to your team's success in specific way. Example. I'm attracted to community health partners because of your innovative approach to preventive care and your deep commitment to underserved communities. Your recent mobile healthcare initiative particularly resonates with me because I've seen firsthand how transportation barriers prevent many people from accessing regular care. I believe my experience in patient education and my bilingual skills would allow me to contribute to your team's success in reaching and supporting more diverse community members. 3. What are your greatest strengths? Choose strengths that are directly relevant to the position and support them with evidence. Corba culture. Sample answer framework. One of my key strengths is relevant strength. In my previous experience, this helped me specific example with results. I believe this would be valuable in this role because connection to job duties. Example. One of my key strengths is my ability to simplify complex information. In my volunteer work teaching computer skills to seniors, this helped me develop training materials that increased program completion rates by 65%. I believe this would be valuable in this customer support role because I could help your clients understand technical solutions without feeling overwhelmed. 4. What is your greatest weakness? Show self-awareness and a commitment to improvement by discussing a genuine weakness and your efforts to address it. Sample answer framework. I found that honest weakness has been challenging for me. To address this, I've specific steps taken to improve. While I'm still working on it, I've already seen improvement in measurable result. Example. I found that public speaking has been challenging for me throughout my career. To address this, I joined a local Toastmasters group last year and have been volunteering to lead meetings whenever possible. While I'm still working on it, I've already seen improvement in my confidence and clarity when presenting to groups, which my volunteer coordinator has also noted. 5. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Show ambition that aligns with the company's growth potential and demonstrates commitment. Sample answer framework. In 5 years, I hope to have realistic career progression, having developed expertise in skills relevant to the industry I'm particularly interested in, aspect of industry or company, and would like to, specific growth goal. Example. In 5 years, I hope to have grown from this administrative role into a project coordination position. Having developed expertise in project management methodologies and industry-specific software, I'm particularly interested in the healthcare technology field and would like to earn my project management professional certification to contribute more strategically to initiatives like the ones your company is pioneering. Asking questions at the end of the interview. The questions you ask at the end of an interview are just as important as the answers you provide throughout. They demonstrate your interest, engagement, and thoughtfulness, while also helping you gather information to evaluate if the position is right for you. Why your questions matter. 1. They show engagement. Thoughtful questions demonstrate genuine interest in the role. 2. They reveal research. Questions referencing company specifics show you've done your homework. 3. They provide insight. The right questions help you assess if the position and company culture fit your needs. They leave an impression. Often the last questions you ask are what interviewers remember most. Preparation strategy. 1. Prepare 7 to 10 questions. You'll likely only ask 3 to 5, but having extras ensures you won't run out if some get answered during the interview. 2. Write them down. Bring a professional notebook with your questions written out. 3. Prioritize your questions. Start with the most important ones in case time runs short. 4. Listen actively. Cross off questions that get answered during the interview to avoid repetition. Categories of effective questions. Role-specific questions. These help you understand day-to-day responsibilities and success measures. Examples. What would a typical day look like in this position? What are the biggest challenges someone in this position faces? How do you define success for this role in the first 90 days? The first year? Can you describe the typical projects I would be working on? Team and reporting structure. These clarify how you would fit into the organization. Examples. Could you tell me about the team I'd be working with? How does this team collaborate with other departments? What's your management style? If interviewing with your potential manager, how is feedback typically delivered in this department? Company culture and environment. These help assess whether you'll thrive in the organization. Examples. How would you describe the company's values in practice? What do employees enjoy most about working here? How does the company support professional development and growth? How has the company maintained its culture during remote/hybrid work, if applicable? Growth and development. These show your interest in a long-term commitment. Examples. What opportunities for advancement might be available to someone who excels in this role? What have previous employees in this position gone on to do within the company? How does the company support continuing education or skill development? Next steps. Always end with a question about the hiring process. Examples. What are the next steps in the interview process? What is your timeline for making a decision? Is there any additional information I can provide to help with your decision? Questions to avoid in initial interviews. Salary and benefits, unless the interviewer brings it up. Vacation time or time off policies. Questions that show lack of research, information readily available on their website. Overly personal questions about the interviewer. Questions with negative implications about the company. Example question sequence. Here's a strategic sequence of questions that builds rapport while gathering important information. 1. Start with the role. Could you describe what a successful first 3 months would look like in this position? 2. Move to the team. I'd love to learn more about the team I'd be working with. Could you tell me about their backgrounds and how they collaborate? 3. Ask about culture. What aspects of the company culture are you most proud of? 4. Inquire about growth. How have others in similar positions grown within the company? 5. Finish with next steps. What are the next steps in your hiring process? And what is your timeline for making a decision? Responding to their answers. Listen attentively and take brief notes. Ask relevant follow-up questions showing you understood. Connect their answers to your experience when appropriate. Thank them for their insights. How to end the interview professionally. The conclusion of an interview is your final opportunity to leave a positive impression and set the stage for follow-up communications. A strong finish can sometimes tip the scales in your favor when candidates are closely matched. Steps for a professional conclusion. 1. Watch for closing signals from the interviewer, such as asking if you have any questions, summarizing the conversation, discussing next steps, checking their watch or mentioning time. 2. Ask any remaining questions you've prepared, prioritizing the most important ones if time is limited. 3. Express your continued interest in the position, assuming you're still interested. Be specific about why the conversation increased your enthusiasm. Connect your skills directly to what you learned about the role. Demonstrate that you listened carefully throughout. Example: after learning more about the customer experience initiatives and team structure, I'm even more excited about this opportunity. My experience developing training programs for customer service teams seems directly aligned with your current needs. 4. Address any potential concerns that arose during the interview. If you sensed hesitation about a qualification, briefly address it. Keep it positive and solution-focused. Be concise. This isn't the time for lengthy explanations. Example: I noticed we discussed the need for experience with Salesforce, and I want to emphasize that while my direct experience is with a different CRM, I've consistently learned new systems quickly, as demonstrated when I became the team resource for our proprietary database within 2 weeks. 5. Summarize your key strengths for the position in a concise closing statement. Remind them of 2 to 3 main qualifications that make you a good fit. Keep it to 30 seconds or less. Deliver with confidence and enthusiasm. Example: I'd like to reiterate my enthusiasm for this position. My 5 years of customer service experience, my recent certification in conflict resolution, and my demonstrated ability to improve team processes seem well matched to what you're looking for. I'm confident I could make valuable contributions to your team. 6. Ask about next steps if they haven't been mentioned. What are the next steps in the selection process? When might I expect to hear about next steps? 7. Thank the interviewers sincerely. Express appreciation for their time and consideration. Mention something specific about the conversation you valued. Oh, keep it warm but professional. Example: thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. I especially appreciated learning about your team's collaborative approach to problem solving. It aligns perfectly with my working style. 8. Collect business cards or contact information, if not already provided. Ask for business cards from everyone who interviewed you. If business cards aren't available, write down names and titles accurately. Confirm the best way to follow up. 9. Exit gracefully. Stand up with confidence. Offer a firm handshake to each person present, when culturally appropriate. Maintain positive body language until you're out of the building. Keep phone away until you've completely left the premises. Post-interview follow-up. A thoughtful follow-up demonstrates your continued interest, professionalism, and attention to detail. It also keeps you fresh in the interviewer's mind during the decision-making process. The thank you email. Timing. Send within 24 hours of the interview. Components of an effective thank you email. Subject line: clear and professional. E.g., thank you for the position interview. Greeting. Address the interviewer by name with appropriate title. Express gratitude. Thank them for their time and the opportunity. Specific reference. Mention something specific from the conversation. Reaffirm interest. Confirm your enthusiasm for the position. Address any concerns. Briefly clarify any points you felt were unclear during the interview. Closing. Professional sign-off with your contact information. Example thank you email. Subject: thank you for the administrative assistant interview. Dear Ms. Thompson, thank you for taking the time to discuss the administrative assistant position with me this morning. I enjoyed learning more about XYZ Company's approach to customer service and your team's current initiatives. Our conversation reinforced my enthusiasm for the role. The project management aspects you described align perfectly with my experience streamlining office procedures and coordinating team calendars. I was particularly excited about the opportunity to help implement the new client management system you mentioned. After reflecting on our discussion about database experience, I wanted to mention that I've completed an additional online SQL course that I believe would be relevant to the database migration project you described. Please don't hesitate to contact me if you need any additional information. I look forward to hearing from you about the next steps in the process. When you don't get the job, receiving a rejection is disappointing, but how you respond can leave the door open for future opportunities. Response strategies. Respond promptly. Reply within 24 to 48 hours. Express appreciation. Thank them for the opportunity and communication. Show disappointment professionally. Brief acknowledgement without negativity. Request feedback. Politely ask for input on how you might improve. Maintain the connection. Express interest in future opportunities. Example response to rejection. Dear Ms. Thompson, Thank you for letting me know about your decision regarding the administrative assistant position. While I'm disappointed I wasn't selected, I appreciate you taking the time to inform me. I enjoyed learning about XYZ company, and am still very interested in your organization. If you're willing, I would value any feedback you might offer about my interview or qualifications that could help me improve. Please keep me in mind for future opportunities that might be a good match for my skills, particularly in administrative support or customer service roles. Thank you again for your consideration. Handling job offers. Receiving a job offer represents success in your interview process, but the professional interaction isn't over yet. Responding to an offer. Initial response. Express gratitude and enthusiasm. Confirm you'll review the details. Ask when they need your decision. Clarify any questions about the offer package. Example: initial response. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm excited about the possibility of joining your team. I'd like to review the offer details carefully. When would you need my final decision by? Continuous improvement. Learning from each interview. Every interview, regardless of outcome, provides valuable learning opportunities that can strengthen your future performance. Post-interview self-assessment. After each interview, take time for reflection. Content evaluation. Which questions did I answer most effectively? Which questions were challenging and why? Did I clearly communicate my relevant experience? Did I effectively use the STAR method for behavioral questions? Presentation assessment. How was my body language and eye contact? Did I speak clearly and at an appropriate pace? Was I dressed appropriately for the environment? Did I manage my nervous habits effectively? Connection reflection. Did I build rapport with the interviewers? Did I listen effectively or just focus on my answers? Did I ask insightful questions about the role and company? Did I express authentic interest in the position? We are nearly finished, but before we close the 10th module up, I'd like to remind you that at our Career Club, you can find free and paid service of ours. Interviews can be nerve-wracking, but not when you're prepared. Want insider strategies, mock interview feedback, or a confidence boost before the big day? Join our Career League for expert support and accountability to nail every answer. Need a quick fix? Shoot us an email at hello@culturalinks.co.uk for a free interview prep checklist or to book a one-to-one coaching session. We'll turn those jitters into job offers. Your dream job is one stellar interview away. Let's make it happen. Learn more at www.culturalinks.co.uk. And now, I'd like you to do some homework before our next module. 1. Create 3 complete STAR stories relevant to your target role. 2. Record yourself answering, "Tell me about yourself," and evaluate using the criteria in this module. 3. Develop a list of 10 questions to ask interviewers. 4. Practice a mock interview with a friend or career counselor. 5. Draft a thank you email template that you can customize for future interviews. And I'll see you in the next module, where we will speak about communication with recruiters. Communication with recruiters, speaking to the right people, the right way. Hey there, and welcome back. You've worked hard to get here. You've clarified your strengths, created your CV, built your online presence, applied for roles, and maybe even hit that submit application button a few times already. Now let's talk about something that makes a huge difference in your job search, yet hardly anyone teaches it properly. How to communicate with in-house recruiters, the people who actually work for the company you've applied to. That's right, we're not talking about agency recruiters today. We're talking about internal talent acquisition specialists, the ones whose job it is to find the right people for their own teams. Think of them as the gatekeepers to the role you want, and also your potential allies. If you know how to build the right relationship with them, it can unlock opportunities you never even knew existed. So in this module, we'll cover how the internal recruitment process works. 2. The role of the company recruiter, and why they matter. 3. How to communicate with confidence and professionalism. 4. What to say, and what to avoid. 5. How to build long-term relationships, not just one-time conversations. Let's jump right in. Part 1. Understanding the recruitment process, from the inside out. Okay, let's bust a myth right now. Recruiters working inside companies aren't just sifting through CVs all day. They are strategic team members, usually working very closely with the hiring manager. Here's how the process generally works. 1. A department needs a new team member. Maybe someone left. Maybe the company is growing. The manager requests a new hire. 2. The in-house recruiter creates the job posting. They collect the role requirements. They write the description. They publish the job ad on the company's careers page and job boards. 3. They screen incoming applications. Yes, they really do look at your CV and cover letter. Often they use applicant tracking systems, ATS, to filter candidates. 4. They select a shortlist for interviews. These are the yes candidates, the ones that seem like a good match on paper. Then they contact them to begin the process. Phone call, email, or invitation for an interview. 5. They guide you through the interview process. They may arrange logistics, give feedback, collect references, or help you understand what happens next. In short, they're the bridge between you and the hiring team. And if you treat them well and communicate effectively, they might really go to bat for you. Part 2. What in-house recruiters actually do and what they don't. Let's be clear. Internal recruiters are not personal career coaches. They don't rewrite your CV, help you figure out your career goals, chase you up if you go silent, tell you everything going on behind the scenes, but they do want to hire the best fit, appreciate clear, respectful communication, often get the final say on who makes it to the hiring manager. So your goal here is not to impress them with fancy words, it's to connect with them like a capable, responsible professional. Think of them like the host of a dinner party. You want to show up on time, bring something valuable, be polite, and make their life easier. Part 3. How to communicate with in-house recruiters. Now let's talk practical communication tips. 1. Your first contact, the application or email. If you're applying online and you have the recruiter's name, amazing. Send a short, friendly email introducing yourself and confirming that your application is submitted. Example email. Subject: application for customer support role. Your name. Hello, recruiter's name. I hope you're well. I recently submitted my application for the customer support assistant role, ref. number 4529, and wanted to briefly introduce myself. I'm a bilingual professional with 3 years' experience in fast-paced customer-facing environments, and I'm excited about the opportunity to contribute to your team at company name. Thank you for your time. Looking forward to the next steps. Best regards. 2. During the interview process. If a recruiter invites you to interview, treat them as your point of contact. Reply promptly, ideally within 24 hours. Confirm all details clearly: date, time, location, format, Zoom, in person. Ask if there's anything you should prepare, and don't ghost them. If something changes, tell them. Life happens. Just communicate. Example: Hi name. I've just tested my webcam and everything looks good. I'll be ready 10 minutes before our scheduled call. Looking forward to meeting the team. It seems small, but these touches build trust. 3. After the interview, the follow-up. You must always follow up. And yes, this includes with the recruiter. Example: Hi, recruiter's name. Thank you again for arranging today's interview. I really appreciated the chance to meet manager's name and learn more about the team's goals. I remain very interested in the position and hope I can contribute to your growth at company name. Please let me know if you need anything further. Part 4. Common mistakes and how to avoid them. Let's go over some don'ts quickly because they're common. Mistake 1. Being too casual. No slang, no emojis, no hey hun. Even if the recruiter is friendly, keep it professional. Mistake 2. Following up too often or too aggressively. Don't email every day asking for updates. Once a week is fine unless they've given a specific timeline. Mistake 3. Getting defensive. If you're not selected, don't reply with anger or demand a reason. Instead, politely ask for feedback. If you're able to share any feedback, I'd be grateful to improve for future opportunities. Mistake 4. Forgetting who they are. This is not your cousin or neighbor. They're the voice of the company. Everything you say to them could influence your chances. Part 5. Building a long-term relationship. Here's the big secret nobody tells you. Even if you don't get this job, your interaction with a recruiter could lead to another role down the line. So keep it classy. Always. If you liked the company or team, follow the recruiter on LinkedIn. Send a connection request with a short thank you message. Example: Hi name. Thanks again for the interview process at company. I really appreciated your professionalism and support. I'd love to stay connected here on LinkedIn. You've just planted a seed, and in 3 or 6 months, they might message you with a new opportunity that fits you even better. Because recruiters, they remember the ones who are kind, respectful, and easy to work with. Final thoughts plus what's next. So now you know how to communicate with company recruiters, not just as a nervous candidate, but as a future team member. Be professional, be respectful, be prompt, be memorable for the right reasons. And don't forget, you're not doing this alone. Visit culturalinks.co.uk for free templates, email examples, and guides to help you feel confident in every interaction. Join our career club for weekly support, live events, and real-time Q&As. And if you want personalized support, coaching, and feedback, join our private career league, where we'll walk with you from application to onboarding and beyond. You've got this. Now go build those connections and open the door to your next great role. First 90 days and career growth. Welcome to the real beginning of your career story. Hello, my friend, and welcome to the final module of our journey. But let me tell you something before we even begin. This is not the end, this is the start of your real story. The day you land the job isn't the finish line. It's day one of your next big adventure, and what happens in those first 90 days, it matters a lot. In fact, how you show up, learn, adapt, and connect in those first few weeks can set the tone for everything that follows. So let's talk about how to make it count. This module is called First 90 Days and Career Growth, and we'll walk through 4 key parts. 1. How to succeed in your new role without the pressure to be perfect. How to set clear, healthy expectations with your new employer. 3. How to keep learning and stay relevant in this fast-changing world. How to plan for the future, even when you're just starting. And just like the rest of this course, we're going to keep it honest, practical, and very human. So, take a deep breath, get comfy. Let's go. Part 1. Succeeding in your new role. They hired you for a reason, now show them why. Picture this. It's your first day. New building, or maybe Zoom or Teams screen. New faces. New systems. You feel a mix of excitement and a bit of imposter syndrome, right? Let me stop you right there. That nervousness? It's not a sign you're not ready. It's a sign that you care. Here's the secret to thriving in your new role. Be helpful. Be curious, be human. You don't need to be the expert. You don't need to prove yourself in one day. You just need to start with the right mindset. Here's a real story for you. Tanya, a participant in our career league, landed her first job in the UK at a local bakery. She'd never worked in customer service before and felt totally overwhelmed. But what she did do? She smiled. She showed up on time. She asked for help without shame. And every day she tried to learn one new thing, from how to use the till, to how to fold the pastry boxes perfectly. 3 months later, her manager offered her a supervisor position. Why? Because she was coachable, reliable, and brought good energy to the team. Quick tips for the first 30 days. Write down people's names. Use a notebook if you need to. Learn the unwritten rules. Is it okay to take your lunch at 12? Can you call your boss by their first name? Don't be afraid to say, I'm not sure, but I'd love to learn. Ask your manager, what does success look like for me in the next month? And remember, nobody gets it right 100% of the time. You're allowed to make mistakes. It's how you respond that counts. Part 2. Setting expectations with your new employer. If you don't ask, they'll assume, and assumptions create stress. One of the biggest challenges, especially for newcomers or people changing careers, is this feeling of, am I doing okay? You don't want to bother your manager, but you're unsure if you're meeting the mark. You don't want to look needy, but you're also not getting clear feedback. Solution? Create clarity early. Here's how to do it. Week 1 to 2. Ask for a one-to-one. Say this. I'd really like to understand your expectations for my role and how I can contribute best. Can we have a short catch-up sometime this week? Trust me, most managers love hearing that. It shows maturity and self-awareness. In the meeting, ask, what are the 3 most important tasks I should focus on? How do you prefer to communicate? Email, message, or in person? What does a successful first month look like in your eyes? What not to do? Don't wait months to ask for feedback. You'll feel lost and possibly frustrated. Don't assume silence means you're doing great. Don't hide mistakes. Own them early and show your solution mindset. Example: Ahmed, one of our clients, started a job as a support worker. His manager didn't give much guidance, so Ahmed kept guessing what was expected. He made a few small errors, not serious, but they added up. After he finally had a proper meeting and clarified expectations, everything shifted. He got his confidence back and his manager said, "I wish you'd asked sooner. So please, ask, communicate, clarify." It builds trust and respect. Part 3. Continuing Professional Development, CPD. If you want a career, not just a job, you've got to keep growing. Let's be real, the job market is moving fast. New tools, new systems, new expectations. Whether you work in admin, care, logistics, IT, retail, whatever the field, there are always new things to learn. That's why professional development is not optional. It's your superpower, key, and guess what? It doesn't have to cost a fortune or take 10 hours a week. Sometimes, just 20 minutes a day can move the needle. Here's what counts as CPD. Watching a tutorial on YouTube about Excel. Doing a free short course on platforms like FutureLearn or Coursera. Attending a local workshop or online webinar. Reading industry articles. Asking your manager if you can shadow a colleague in a different department. Story: Julia works in elderly care. She loved working with dementia patients and found a free course on person-centered dementia care. It helped her not only understand her clients better, but made her feel more confident when speaking with families. When a promotion came up for senior care worker, she was chosen. Not because she was the oldest or most experienced, but because she invested in her growth. So set your intention. 1 hour a week, just for me. Make it a non-negotiable habit. Even if it's just watching a 10-minute video about communication skills. That's still progress. That's still growth. Part 4. Planning for future advancement. Where you start doesn't define where you'll end up. Whether you're stacking shelves, doing deliveries, caring for people, or working behind a desk, every job is a stepping stone. But only you can decide where it leads. Here's how to start future-proofing your career, even if you've just begun. Step 1. Pay attention to what excites you. Ask, what parts of my job make me feel good? What tasks come easily to me? What do I want to learn more about? You don't need a 10-year plan, just start noticing where you want to grow. Step 2. Build a career evidence folder. Create a private folder, digital or paper, and put in compliments you receive, emails with thank yous or positive feedback, notes about what you learned from challenges, goals you're working towards. This is gold when it's time to update your CV, apply for a promotion, or just remember how far you've come. Step 3. Talk about growth at your 3-month check-in. Say, I'm really enjoying the role and learning a lot. I'd love to continue developing. Are there any opportunities for extra training or to take on more responsibility? This puts you on your manager's radar as someone with ambition, and that's never a bad thing. Bonus tip. Even if you love your job, keep your eyes open. Things change. Companies restructure. Leaders move on. Keep your CV fresh and your LinkedIn updated. You never know when the next great opportunity will arrive. Final message from me to you. So here you are, 12 modules in. You've reflected. You've learned. You've planned. You've grown. And now, you're ready to not just get the job, but to thrive in it. To turn that role into a stepping stone. To shape your own future, one choice at a time. But remember, you're not alone in this. We're here for you. Always. Visit culturalinks.co.uk. You'll find free downloads, guides, checklists, and resources to help you stay on track. Join our Career Club page. We post job leads, live sessions, and expert advice regularly. For personal coaching, join our Career League. It's a closed, supportive group where we help you build confidence, map your goals, solve real workplace challenges, prepare for promotions, and stay accountable week by week. We're not just a course, we're a career community. So don't stop here, stay with us, keep growing, keep aiming higher. And remember, you're capable, you're needed, you're ready. This is just the beginning. Let's go build something amazing.